That BS though. And Singletary, little as hell. Have you ever seen him in real life?
Mike Singletary?
Mike Singletary is not a big man.
He's not as big as you think.
No. But boy, is
What's
that
he like,
hard.
about 5'10", 220?
I think that's a stretch. I don't
Really?
think 5'10". Welcome to episode 38 on the rocks. I don't know what the hell. Who is 38? We skipping past that number, huh? Yeah. Who is number 38? That motherfucker. That's Coach's son number. Like, who is number 38?
That's walk-on number.
Oh, yeah, that is. I thought it was Jerome Bettis, but that's 36.
Oh, that's a Bronny number.
All right, we can chat GPT. What? A what number?
That's a Bronny number.
And you a Laker fan, so that's
I know. You didn't chat GPT it? No?
It didn't come with anything, man.
It really, not one name.
Not about nobody I know. Not in basketball world.
We always try to guess who's a good number. Oh, I hope you went number 38. Look, no.
I'm good.
Sound like, hey, you know what I'm saying? With the Raiders, I was practice squad. Hell no. Oh, man, so much stuff going on right now. It's crazy. Where y'all watch the game last night? Don't lie. Where y'all watch it?
The house.
At the house?
At home, yeah.
Oh, he the one that tried to set it up and then blow it up. So Richie sends out the group text and it's like, yo, where you watching the game? Or you did. One of y'all was like, where are you watching the game?
It was Eugene.
Oh, of course it's Eugene. This motherfucker.
brought a cousin.
Damn, does you like home? This motherfucker, he be staying in them streets. I ain't never seen somebody want to rally the troops so much. I'm like, dog, I ain't fighting that battle. But anyway, so we thinking about it, right? So everybody trying to put it together. But I be reading between the lines or sometimes I just project. I'm like, we ain't trying to connect. I can see it right now. This ain't happy because he said, I would like to be around adults. I'm like,
Hey, listen.
I'm like, Richie throwing shade earlier.
shade. He's like, I ain't trying to see you. He's like, no MJ today, dog.
Let's do
No.
something with the family.
It was-
and bring the kids.
It was
He's
not
like, I
even
wanna be around
shade.
that.
It was just pure honesty.
I love
was
that.
like, I need an adult day for that.
I love
for the
that.
game.
And then you end up just staying at home.
Yes, I smoked a cigar and
You're supposed to go somewhere and smoke a cigar and be around adults. What happened to that?
it was more convenient at home.
Dog, you on the cheapest.
He had his
he on the,
Oakley shades on.
Are those the one that film? Did you get them yet?
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
Inside.
No. You stupid. Oh, so you stayed home with her. You and her watched the game? Uh-oh. Motherfucker, yes.
That laugh.
Oh, that laugh is.
If you don't say no, it's
Is he still climaxing?
He was like, yo.
Is he still in the zone? What pill you took?
The streets is hot.
That's the only thing gonna shut you down from seeing your boys or going to the spot. Her. It's okay. It's okay.
I can neither confirm nor deny those allegations.
Yeah, I know. I know. What'd you do then, Just?
Man, I just sat, ate some wings.
Oh, I
watched
know.
the game. That was it.
Real, huh? Kept it simple.
Yeah.
What kind of wings did you get?
No, I made them.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that
I
shit-
did too.
Air fryer, right? Air fryer.
No. I'm a Traeger. I'm a grill. I'm a smoker.
How y'all season?
I'm a real cook.
How y'all season?
I gotta tell you that off camera.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Might get the
I don't want to steal my recipe.
What do you mean, burnt? Nobody want none of that shit.
I can teach you something.
No,
I would not learn.
I know. I don't cook at all.
I cook.
I use
just
a
burn stuff.
Do you remember we did the
pecan
turkey,
rub.
the turkey drive, and he wouldn't even touch the turkey?
That thing looked like a turkey.
scared
It was a real turkey. I was like, you gotta fake it. You see, y'all talking about fresh out the ocean. Y'all always talking about meat. Oh man, it tastes so good. I need Farmer John between me and my meal. And if I don't get that process, that step, I ain't touching them real. If I had to live in the wild, I got what, 40 days they say you live?
Be a vegetarian.
Oh, I'm dying.
You gotta get in there, man. You gotta season that thing. You gotta clean that chicken.
Yeah, take the clothes off.
Yeah, man. You gotta get in there, getting them guts.
That's it. Richie did all that yesterday. Watching the game. That shit ain't hard. I can do what Richie did. My wife out of town again. God dang, her side boyfriend. He working overtime this summer. They in a good space right now. Like, fuck, how many speaking engagements you got? Coming home with the same damn money. I see the account.
Ain't a laminate anywhere.
Hey, no.
Hey, the funny thing about that is that's really how it goes. Even though you're joking, that is really how it goes.
Oh, really?
That dude is on the side on all them little trips.
Oh, yeah.
To meet up.
Program director.
He already at the hotel.
Yeah. And then she like, oh, baby, I'm so tired. I can't lie. I used to pull that shit. I used to go to the hotels. I'd be like, baby, I'm so tired. She's like, yeah, she in Cali. I'm in the East Coast. So it's like, I could call her at like 11 our time. It's 8 her time. And she like, oh, yeah, it is about bedtime. And I was like, no, it ain't. I ain't waking up. She got my second win.
That power nap.
Yeah. Hell yeah. They used to put me up when I used to go back and forth. I was like, this is like 07, 08. I was like, girl, stop playing. I am living at the Hotel Gansevoort rooftop.
Right.
At
in New York. Oh,
boy, meat packing.
The Gansevoort that's a spot.
Yeah, they didn't call it meat packing until I start staying there. That shit was, I don't know what they call that neighborhood. I start going there, they like, this is meat packing. Wiley out here winning. Dog out here winning.
One of your best jokes ever.
Oh, right now.
That was nice. That was nice.
Oh, no, I used to be like, what? New York? Oh, New York in the summer? Stop
Place to
playing.
be.
Do you remember a restaurant there called Spice Market?
Yes.
Oh,
It's a big spot, right?
Yeah. It's gone now, but that place was great.
What happened? COVID killed it?
Yep.
Really? That place was insane. You could go now that's world traveling for food, it felt like, because they had all them different spots within it. It was right there in Meatpacking, right?
Yeah, it was a restaurant though. It was a super hot restaurant called Spice Market.
We might be talking about two different things. I was talking about that spot where everywhere you went, it was like a different
No.
type of restaurant.
No, this was a big New York style restaurant. Boy. And it was the place to be, boy.
New York knows how to party with class, right?
Yep.
With intention.
Yep.
LA, we just hang out. You
Yeah.
know, it's a little different.
And then go home.
Yeah. And be happy we went home, too.
Right.
People be like,
You sleep by 2.
It's only 2 o'clock. What we doing? I was like, we're going to bed.
Going to sleep.
And we're going to bed.
2 o'clock in New York. It's getting started.
It's just getting started, which is weird to me. All that, like, I don't like that way. I like our version, which means, because everywhere you go, you're only doing 3 hours, right? So in New York, if you do 2, you're doing 2 to 5. You ain't doing 2 to 8. Like, unless you in a rave, unless you doing the LSD.
Party hopping.
Unless you party hopping.
Like a day party.
Yeah.
Then at night
Yes,
party.
LA cracked the code with the day parties. That's where it's at.
That's
The day-
because they
That's the
closed
best.
clubs so early.
Yeah.
So the day party became a thing.
the day parties. That's the shit.
LA started that, y'all think? We got credit for that?
I don't know if it started it, but that's what we know. I mean, that's what we perfected it. Yeah.
Oh, we did? Our day parties? Oh, yeah. Remember them, where's
Boy.
that? What was the one we used to go to right there in Hollywood? I remember that. What was
The
that one?
London has crazy day. They used to have
Rosé
crazy day
parties
parties.
Yeah.
Have you been to Harriet's here?
Oh, we went to
Yes,
Harriet's.
yeah, the rooftop.
On the rooftop?
Yeah, that's something special.
That's something special.
That's something special, very special. I had my wife 40th.
40th. I
Her
was about
40th
to say,
was there.
yeah.
Yeah. I was there night before. I had to go there and check it out with the program director.
Make sure
program director.
You had to put a deposit.
Make sure he had to make sure the ice was cold. The ice is still cold, baby. The ice is cold.
You know it's a spot when everybody that worked there fine. You be like, dog, what kind of HR is this? Like,
Right.
the fuck? How you hire everybody fine?
And then there used to be one Mama Shelter,
Yeah, I've heard of that.
but they that just closed down.
Yeah.
I think they sold the hotel.
Damn, I'm starting to realize why you got divorced. Like, from your New York, this motherfucker stay outside, and then when he's supposed to go outside, he inside with her. So yeah, all divorce traits. Let's talk about. Let's talk about it. Let's get it off our chest. Halliburton, dog.
What the hell?
I mean, what the hell? Like,
Saw it coming.
yeah,
Saw it
injury.
coming. Yeah. I, in fact, I told you and Justin, I was like, he probably shouldn't be playing because he's going to snap his Achilles. And y'all were like, he has to play. And I understand that, but it was obvious it was coming, man.
Yeah,
Durant
if-
2.0, huh?
Yeah, if you're in that situation, would you play? If that's you. If
Yeah,
you're
I would want to play.
everybody
playing.
got to play.
Yeah, but
Game
sometimes you
7 in the
gotta
finals?
save somebody from themselves too.
Yeah, that's why you got a
Not
corner
enough.
man. Well, that's why boxers got corner men, not to just say, hey, throw a punch and know where to hit him. It's like, dog, I got to also tell you when to tap out because your ass going to fight to the death and you might die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was clearly coming. We've seen it so many times.
But not to the
He
point.
started off on fire, though.
That's
He
what's-
was
that's a
straight.
sad part.
3 buckets. If he wasn't performing well, you know what I mean, it's a different story. But like, I honestly, obviously, this is not how he wanted to write it out himself. But and put him in a situation that he will never get questioned ever again in his career. Ever.
Yeah.
In what way? What do you mean?
Like, nobody's ever going to question his toughness.
Okay.
Nobody's ever going to question his commitment to the team.
Yeah.
If he's selfish. Any of these, all of that is completely gone.
Right.
And I mean, we're not, probably, realistically, we're not going to see the best version of him next season.
No.
You know, if we
Not
even
yet.
see him
He
next
won't.
season.
He won't be back next season.
Right. So he's kind of like got a little bit of wiggle room.
It's a 6 to 9 monther now. It ain't. I mean, not.
It's a solid 9
Yeah.
plus.
Is
So
it
they're saying the
completely torn?
sooner you do the surgery on the Achilles, like what Tatum did, the quicker the recovery time. That's what the science is saying now.
Yeah,
So if
yeah.
he got it quickly, that recovery time shortens from 9 to call it 5.
Put him in a
6 months.
hyperbaric.
Yeah, you can come back. I mean, we've seen, obviously, Durant came back. Wilkins had it way back in the days. A couple other players of more recent. Football players, Jason Peters had 2 of them, still played 20-some years, kept balling. Like, a lot of guys come back and ball. Remember, what's our boy, Suggs, Terrell Suggs? He came back, still eating. Like, it's a little different animal. Even 10 years ago when I tore my Achilles, it was different back
Oh,
then.
you tore yours?
Yeah, I tore mine. And, boy, you hear that. I didn't think he was going to get hurt. Now, I had Kevin Durant 2.0 in the back of my head, but I was like, that ain't going to happen again. And so I would have played like him, calf strain. There's no way to monitor. There's no way to go put a governor on. You're going to play 100%. He played great in Game 6 defensively. Offense was a little off, but still balling. Then you come back and you think it's behind you, but a calf is like a growing. It's tricky. That sucker don't care. And when he did it in the moment, and Mike Breen was like, oh, we feel bad for him. Oh, his calf, and oh, we were wondering if he was past this and all that stuff. I was sitting there like, I hate to be this guy, but that ain't no calf. That's an Achilles.
Yep, he knew it too.
You could see it.
Yeah. When you do that, well, yeah, before the replays, like, but when you go down like that, ain't nobody, like, that's why I don't run out on the court every time my son gets hurt. Because you tell, like, sports yells. When he did all that, I was like, oh, that's the Achilles, bro. The calf just going to be like, a little bit grab.
Tighten up.
Yeah. That thing popped in slow-mo, though. Everybody saw it in
it
slow-mo.
sure did.
That's tough.
I don't
It was
even like watching
heartbreaking.
the replays of those.
Say
I
it
don't know
again.
why they keep showing it. I don't like watching the replays when guys like tear their ACL
Really?
or have.
I am
bad
fascinated by
injuries.
that.
I don't like seeing it.
Dog, when Nipsey, I don't wish death or ill on anybody but when it happens, I literally study it. I was on vacation when Nipsey got killed, and I swear that whole day I watched that video about 300 times.
They kept playing it too.
Yeah, and I kept playing it too because I'm like, I don't know what I'm really looking for other than, wow, look how fickle life is and look how fickle sports is. Like, you literally like here, and the next thing you know, he on the ground, he ain't got no Achilles. He can't play for the next year maybe. And the same thing with Nipsey. Like, I get fascinated by that even though I don't raise my hand and want it to happen. You know what I mean? Yeah. Halliburton, would they have won if he would have played? Is the billion-dollar question.
So, because he came out hot, and the game was close up until like the beginning of like right before the fourth quarter started. Yeah. And that's when he usually
Well,
performs.
the third quarter it got out of hand. So
That's it. Right before the fourth quarter is when the lead started to spread. Like in the beginning of the third quarter, you remember it was what was it? It was like a point.
They got it to 10.
Yeah, but they
Weren't they up at half?
It kept
They
seizing.
outscored
They were
them.
by 2 at half.
They were
Seized
up at
in the
half.
third
but
quarter.
they outscored them by 13 in the third.
Yeah.
But that's as it got closer to the fourth. In the beginning, it just kept going back and forth, and then it slowly.
He
started
makes
to
up
gap.
that difference.
Yeah.
He definitely makes up that difference. And like, I don't know how you feel as winning a championship. Obviously, that feels amazing. I'm assuming, right? I can't imagine, but like the other side of it is the narrative is you won because somebody got hurt.
Yeah, they're giving
Like,
them
how do
that
you
bubble
take
ring.
that? You know what I mean?
They're
Like,
going to give it to him.
But so how do you take that as an athlete? Like if you won a championship, I haven't won a Super Bowl or a championship of that nature. But if it's
Easy.
off the bricks of somebody getting hurt and like that's the narrative.
But if you dive deep, every championship that I can remember, somebody on that road and that course, that journey, they lost one of their big
It was
dogs.
hobbled or they was out.
Yeah, first round, second round, or, like KD gets down, and then all of a sudden, that's Kawhi's, and, and then year before, Steph is hurt. Like, all
And
that.
I don't know if that argument applies in this scenario because OKC was the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
So they were already expected to win anyway. So if they win, it's like, oh.
And their home record, playing at home, they had the largest
Like everything
margin
was
of victory.
already in their favor to win that game.
Yeah, it's tough.
And
It's
they
tough.
hadn't lost 2 games in a row either. Right. So the odds were in their favor.
So they gonna get a whole ring, not a bubble ring or asterisk ring.
I think so. You
think so?
I'm not gonna hate on it.
That's what Caruso said.
Did he? Oh yeah,
Caruso
I did see that.
He said, I finally got a real one.
I know.
Oh, did he?
That's what he said.
That was pinned up.
Oh, wow.
That's pinned up. So now in his mind, he got 1 because he's like listening to the crowd. We didn't even know he got 2, but he like the crowd thinks I got 1. This one, all right. Same with Kobe. Kobe felt like he got 2 by the crowd because he got the other 3 with Shaq. And dog, somebody was breaking. Oh, Gilbert. I talked to Gilbert this weekend, but Gilbert was breaking down on First Take that whole conversation about rings and who really gets respect. And he was like, rings are for the all-time greats, #1 option. The rest of y'all ain't getting no love and respect for that.
There's some
Did he
holes in
call it a
that.
participation trophy?
Yeah. There's some holes in that.
There's some holes in that.
How, Sway? Who's #2 that got love for their
Because he
ring?
brought up Kobe, and in 2002, Shaq averaged 28, Kobe averaged 27. So if that's not a 1A, 1B, I don't know what that is.
I know what it is.
What?
It's at that time, no one gave Kobe the credit for that, even though he may have had the impact,
Right.
which is different. The credit, the respect, the notoriety. Kobe was still a Robin, like for real.
A 27 point a game Robin? That's
Yeah.
a hell of a Robin.
Yeah, it's the Bay, but Batman got 28. Like, I mean, look, you know, we all went to that class. Remember that symbol? It was like this, and lesser, greater than. Then they put a line under that motherfucker, or equal to.
That last championship, he wasn't the Robin though. The first 2, he for sure was. That last one, he was the alpha dog at that point. You can see it.
Well, the numbers don't say that, though.
They do. Look at the numbers.
I did.
Look at him.
Whoa.
Kobe-
You said W was wrong. Did you or not?
Kobe's numbers never stood up to Shaq's numbers, but they were really, really good numbers.
Yeah, that part.
That's because you look. Are you only looking at points? or
No,
you
I
looking
looked at all of them.
Did you
now,
actually watch
now it's
these
everything.
games?
I
mean,
one
he-
time he got to the stadium.
He had more.
Numbers is everything.
Yeah,
isn't
he
it?
had more assists, but
He had more.
other than
He's
that,
supposed to have
He
more
had
assists.
everything.
Right, he's supposed
Shaq
to.
should never pass if he get the ball.
Exactly.
I'm going to dunk it.
you know. There's also.
It's okay.
Stats.
You about to get hibachi. I'm just letting you know this is your moment. You about to get cooked.
I cook y'all every time when we do this argument. Just like he's the same guy who said that Kobe wasn't really the guy over there. You said that you always
Gilbert
use
just
that
said the same
argument.
thing. What do you mean?
When did Gilbert say he said
We're-
Kobe was a guy? He's also the same person that bigs Kobe up all the
I
time.
know, and that's to my
So when
point.
is he
So
not the
who
guy?
loves Kobe like me? I love Kobe, but when he was with Shaq, Shaq was it. And so
In the
the
beginning,
real
I agree.
yeah, but the real conversation was not to belittle Kobe. It was he said, look, and everyone who loves Kobe, everyone who loves Steph hates to hear 2 names. It's Shaq and it's KD. Because then you got to start abbreviating what you think of Kobe and what you think of Steph Curry. It's just that simple. Like, there's no other way to look at it. And he said because, dude, these titles, this whole ring culture is false. Because if it was real, then y'all would have been loving Kobe when he had 3. But Kobe didn't even love Kobe because when he got his first one without Shaq, that's when he stood on the table. I got mine. I finally, and then tell me how my ass tastes and all that. They went back and forth because even Kobe knew that what they were doing to him.
But to be fair, that wasn't necessarily the reason why Kobe did it. Kobe did that because Shaq took shots at him when he left and got his first ring.
Yeah.
So when he won his after Shaq, that was him retaliating. Like,
Oh yeah. Oh, well, it all started with if it was about rings, why y'all breaking up? Kobe, Shaq, why y'all breaking up in 2004 if it's all about rings? It ain't. And Kobe knew it. Kobe's like, I'm trying to get mine. Because Kobe used to come on our show, and one quote he said was, I want to win, but I want to be the reason we win. Mm-hmm. And that's real. And I ain't mad at him. And people call that selfish, and I'm like, whatever. But then he gets his 2, and then that's when he felt different about rings. And people felt different about his rings. But he had 5, but people looking at him like, you had 3. Oh, they ain't even give him credit. So I thought it was a flawless take, obviously.
I just think that we just cannot let them try to change this narrative. Like, rings is a measure of greatness, and that's
It is not.
It's a big if it's a big old pie chart.
Yeah.
It's a big piece of that pie chart.
How?
What do you mean?
There's
how?
too many exceptions. The best in so many sports. The best football player ever could be Barry Sanders. Certainly no one's better. Deion, who else? Tom Brady. And Tom Brady's the greater.
Why do they call Tom Brady the great? The GOAT. The GOAT.
Because he has the most accolades, achievements, team awards.
The most
But is
rings.
he? I don't know any football players who think he's the best quarterback ever.
Peyton Manning got
Right.
5
But they give him
MVPs.
that GOAT though title because he has the rings.
Yeah, they give him that. But
Right.
we're saying it's a logical fallacy that they're calling him the GOAT, like because he's not the best at playing football. Jordan is the best, people say, at playing basketball, right? And he's the GOAT. We get that. And you can say LeBron, but we get that. Tom Brady has never been thought of as the best quarterback ever, and that's no shot. That's just saying, dog, you won a hell of a lot. First 3 you won with defense and special teams. Then you started to become Tom Brady. But people will argue that Peyton Manning was better, but just didn't get the rings. So that's where I'm coming from. Like, who's better? Barry Sanders, who's better? Nobody. Does he have a ring? Nope. Barry Bonds, they brought up. Who's better? Nobody. Did he have a World Series?
But the argument, I mean, go ahead.
No, it's just like Emmitt
Just
Smith
saying.
and Barry Sanders. That's always a conversation. Who's better? Who's the greatest running back? He ain't got the rings.
Right.
Emmitt Smith got all the rings.
Right.
So if it's just a case of rings, then it throws it out of the window. Rings just mean you was on the team that won. Don't mean you were the best at that sport.
But Terry,
it
you were
depends.
saying we're talking about the GOAT. It's the greatest of all time, not the best of all time.
Right. It's not
So
the
it may be
boat.
two
It's the
different-
GOAT.
Yeah.
So
That's
somebody
where
help
Tom
me.
Brady wins. He's the GOAT.
Right.
But he ain't the boat.
Real quick, you said you never.
The boat.
Greatest
You
at
just
winning,
said-
right? It's
Yeah.
the greatest
You
at
said
winning.
you never
Yeah,
heard
exactly.
a football player say that Tom Brady was the best quarterback.
No. I'm not. I mean, of course there are, but I'm saying in the locker room.
that say that. So I was just.
No, he's the GOAT, and everyone said he's great. But I'm talking about like a Dan Marino skills challenge. Like, if you swap them all out and say who's going to be the quarterback of that situation, that team, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I get you. I just want to.
no. And then another thing, this is a tough conversation because most people won't identify with what they really feel because who wants that much headache? Especially people like me who don't even have a ring. So they're like, shut up, Wiley, you ain't even got a ring. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to shut up because I ain't got a ring. What the fuck wrong with you? Like, 99% of the conversation is about people who don't even play.
They don't know who they're talking to, do they?
I hate when people do that. They'll be like, oh, you're not a woman. You shouldn't speak on that issue. I was like, so what? Like, I can speak on what I want to speak on. You ain't got to listen. You ain't got to take it in, but it's coming out.
That's what she said.
I hate when people do that. You can't speak on my issue. You imagine if we really lived in that world. Like, they do that with race. Don't talk on black people stuff. I'm like, why not? It's just an opinion. It don't mean it's real unless
Nobody would be talking about anything.
you can't talk about anything. I can't talk about rock and roll. I can't talk about
Nothing.
shit. Yeah, that don't make no sense.
But I mean, I do think that basketball is the only sport where that title holds more weight.
Oh, now we done narrowed it down to the end of.
But I was saying,
we got
like,
one. We got one left. One sport left. We gonna come get basketball. Come on, Bron.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, seriously.
But I'm saying, like,
you're
with
more
football,
involved
like, there's
in basketball.
offense or defense. Like, you can't control what happens on defense. Baseball, you can't control pitching or defense either. Basketball, you can control your narrative a little bit better, playing offense and defense. And one player can really dominate a game or have a big say in how a game ends.
But how long has basketball been around? This is the come at that argument a different way. How long has basketball been around? The NBA. What we got on ChatGPT? What we said? 50 years? Or what?
No.
1940.
Over 70 years.
How
'cause
about
they just celebrated
ChatGPT?
75th anniversary.
They
last
did.
year, 2 years
75th.
Yeah.
And over half of those rings are in 2 cities, 2 places.
You
You know what that is? That means
It's not over half, but it's a good number.
it was a 35.
Okay, you're right about
35,
You're right.
and then we can add like it all goes to one place or another place, and then it's like a monopoly almost. And I think the narrative of GOAT in basketball is wrong as well because if it were about rings, why isn't Bill Russell the fucking greatest? Oh, because he don't have the stats individually. He wasn't good on offense. Okay, so then why isn't Wilt it? Because he don't have enough rings.
That's why it's a piece of the pie.
Yeah, he didn't say that makes you the greatest. He said
No, I know.
on a pie
He said
chart,
it's a
that's
large.
just a large portion, which I think is true. Because also in basketball, if you think about the top 5 players roughly in every era, I would say probably 4 out of that 5 won a ring. Because in basketball, the best player usually gets a ring at some point in time during their career. There's the list of those that didn't.
Okay.
If you think about how many greats there are, most of them walked away with at least one.
But also not greats got rings, and then greats get diminished because they didn't get a ring. All right, so Jerry West didn't get a ring, right?
They got one.
Oh, he got
Got
one.
one.
Oh, him and Wilt got one.
Well, just I want to argue
Will has
that.
2.
Oscar Robinson didn't get one,
He got
right?
one with Kareem.
Okay. Who's the
Milwaukee.
old guy that they always say they didn't get?
It was Elgin Baylor.
Elgin Baylor.
Even though he probably got one because he retired that same year that they wanted, so they probably slid him one because he's on the
So
roster.
of those eras, because back then he's the guy that you would say, and then from there that turned into what a Barkley.
Yep.
Who, I mean,
That's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
Barkley.
The list of top 5 greats that didn't win is a lot smaller than the ones that did. So,
Yeah, I can
so
imagine
having
that.
rings in basketball, that is a strong part of your argument.
But why is it then? So why isn't Bill Russell the GOAT? He got
You
double
already said
almost
his
Jordan.
stats, but his stats weren't the same. Like, you
Okay,
had a
so
lot of rings.
so in a math logical class, like a mathematic logic, you're saying so we're going to diminish rings because this guy got almost double
No,
Jordan.
you're not diminishing his rings. You're giving him his credit for the rings. But if there's a pie chart, it's like, okay, in this pie chart, you got this percentage because
Yep.
you got the rings.
Yep.
But then everything else.
What is everything else? Stats.
Stats.
What else? It can only be those two things. So we really ain't got a big pie chart.
Stats, impact on the game. Like you can have impact and not have big stats.
Do wins matter? In the
Oh,
pie
yeah.
chart?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you might be on the bench because you blew a team out, so you're not padding your stats. So it's hard to look at the stats all the time. You know what I
That's
mean?
why they do stats based on when you play. I forget what is it called?
I don't know if the public
It's not
make a
the P- is it
decision
the
off of
PER
that.
or something?
The PER.
PER?
That's what
Okay.
it is. So it's based on because they factor that in.
You know who had the highest PER ever?
Who?
The GOAT, LeBron James. It got quiet. Anyway,
I'll
I'll flip this on you, though.
You
I will flip this.
You said the GOAT. That's why I got
we was
quiet.
waiting on the GOAT's name to come out.
he did.
I'll
The
flip
guy
it
with the
on
highest
you.
PER. The guy with the PER.
I'll
So
flip-
think about the upcoming draft class, right? Best versus great. If you think about who's going to go number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, are they the best or the greatest from the college teams?
I don't even watch college no more.
Well, because they're not
I'm
they
sorry.
didn't win the
tell.
championship.
Yeah.
They're on losing teams. If you think about some of the top 5 picks, right? Duke didn't win it. Rutgers was terrible, but they're going to be 2 of those players are going to go top 5.
Yeah.
Best.
They're the best, but not necessarily the
But
greatest.
college gameplay is very different from NBA.
Very different.
But that can
It's
apply
more
that to any sport, though.
team-oriented
Football,
than
baseball.
one
When you're
player.
drafting players, you're not drafting them for being champions.
Hold on,
Well, you
Eugene.
draft
I
them
almost
based
had
on
these
what you
dudes on the
need.
ropes. I almost had y'all squeezed out. Hold on. First of all, who watching college basketball anymore? Y'all still?
I still watch it.
Y'all a damn lie. Okay. Who won the watch this. Who won the championship?
I don't know. I didn't say I'm a big fan. I know it was Houston and Florida. I didn't say I'm the fan.
Yeah, but I don't know if
big
there's a
fan.
single
I
player
still
from
watch
Houston
it.
that's in the I don't know, top 10.
This is that old. Remember we talked about that survey? Do you listen to classical music? Absolutely, I do. Everyone does, right? Name 2 artists.
I said I watch it. I didn't say I'm the biggest fan of it.
Why are
I
you
still
so
watch it.
defensive? You don't watch college basketball.
I do.
Well, you
I watched
don't
a
pay
bunch of
attention
Duke
well.
games
You
this year with Flag because I was
you-
interested in him. We were just talking about Ace Bailey. I was watching Rutgers play. I watched games. all
okay?
throughout
And
the
you don't
year.
know who was in the championship?
I can't remember. I know Houston. I know it was Houston. I don't know.
I love football. The NFL's
I
everything.
didn't
Who's in
watch-
Super Bowl?
Because there weren't any
watch
great
the Final
players in the
Four.
championship.
I didn't watch the Final Four.
You're actually defensive, but you're making my point, which is they took away college basketball from us. There was a day when we knew the team that didn't even make the championship, and we knew 3 of them dudes. They did that to us, but with this one and done, and then okay, they got to play 3, and then NIL and switching team, like they did it to us. But I don't watch college basketball anymore because
You
one,
don't watch no games.
I mean, if it's on background noise and I got to on the way to a flag football
Not
game.
intentional.
Right, that's what I'm asking. Because
It
there's certain
sucks.
plays, so you didn't like. When I say I watch it, I'm talking about like Cooper Flag. They've been talking about him.
Oh,
since
yeah,
last
yeah.
year. So at no point you ever said, "Let me watch a Cooper Flag
Not
game and see what he's about."
not on purpose because I knew about him in high school because of Fatback. So I already seen enough, and then he went to Duke, and I'm like, okay. I don't like college basketball because it's the corniest brand of basketball. Perimeter. Oh, someone's gonna drive and kick. No, we're not. Yeah, we are. Shot clock. Here we go. And then I'm like, dog, the score is 44-40. It sucks. And then no matter who you are that goes pro, you were sorrier in college. Name somebody who was better in college that became great in the pros. They get all greater. Like Jordan. Jordan was good in college. He got to the pros like, take these handcuffs off me. James Worthy, all these cats in college.
Leitner.
JJ Redick.
Leitner went backwards,
Right, he went
right?
backwards.
JJ Redick,
He was sick in college.
Adam Morrison,
Jimmer
Morrison
Fredette.
is a good one.
Oh, y'all naming the same guy now. All these, y'all naming all these white American born.
Tyler
Okay, they got to the league. These
Hansbrough.
Negroes. These Negroes are different, mommy, in the NBA. Y'all ain't named nobody
I'm
different.
gonna call you out though, cause you said
Grant
so
Hill.
Grant
Well,
Hill's-
Hill was
He got hurt. Don't do that.
Yeah, he was good. Name.
you try to take away from
Hill
you try
was
to
great,
take away from
man.
Bill Russell's greatness, saying his rings like don't make him the GOAT.
I didn't say that. That's what the narrative says. The narrative has not made him the GOAT.
So the narrative also just because LeBron has the most points, don't make him the GOAT either. Like
No,
we're
you're
doing
right.
numbers.
You're
We're-
right.
We're doing
I like
numbers.
your pie chart, but your pie chart to me only has two variables. It's rings and it's also stats. So it can't be. Where is it? Where is the percentages?
Like Justin said, it has to be impact on winning too, because somebody like Pete Maravich had stats. He averaged like 38.
But
a game or
I
some
need
shit.
objective measures because now we're just gonna go in the barbershop and never leave.
Well, you talk about accolades, MVPs, right?
Okay.
LeBron has multiple.
All NBA.
Bill
Yep.
Russell. I don't know how many Bill Russell has. How many MVPs?
But isn't it weird if you're going to really logically say we have a ring culture or GOAT? Obviously, they ain't started with Bill Russell because he would have been it. Nobody was saying that. Then, if it wasn't him, it should have been Wilt, Mr. 100 points. And then nobody was saying that. Then it was Magic and Bird, but nobody called them a GOAT because they shared their greatness. Maybe they were robbing each other. 8 out of 10 titles, in the 80s. So it's not them. Then it gets to Jordan, and he has half the rings damn near as Bill Russell, but they say he's the GOAT.
Yeah, you know why? It's because
Why?
of the impact. You gotta like
Shoes?
it's just not about. It can't be just about the sport that makes you the greatest or something. Right?
True. Muhammad Ali,
I was
true.
just about to go to boxing. Who's the greatest? People gonna say Muhammad Ali. Well, look who got more wins. You just look at basketball.
Facts.
Who was the
Cool.
greatest? Jordan. The greatest impact.
Oh, wait, nobody else is.
Because we all know
What
who the
y'all
GOAT
know?
is, except for you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
No.
Wait, can I ask you something real
Oh, yeah.
quick?
Oh,
You
you
made a
ask-
statement earlier. You said the GOAT. He called him the GOAT. He said he had the greatest PER of all time.
Yeah, he did.
Well, that's actually incorrect because I just looked it up.
Oh, who got it now?
Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay.
The GOAT.
Well, he playing too long.
So is he the GOAT? No. Oh, see, when LeBron had it, he's the GOAT.
No,
When LeBron had it, he was the GOAT.
No, because you told me not to hang everything on it.
Now, he always say?
Now he gonna listen
he
to
do
you.
this every week.
He gonna listen to you
I
now.
gave you a time. I tried to save you from
He playing
getting
too long.
Look at his
I
face.
tried to save
Look
him
at his
from getting
face.
cooked. He don't want to back
Get the
out.
close
Hold
up.
on.
Get the close up.
I don't understand. If you
vexed.
dunk on me, I'm gonna let you dunk on me, but that's not a dunk. You know why?
You didn't let me. You tried to block
No,
that.
I
You
didn't.
just got dunked on.
I just said it. You said when I gave you the PR thing, I said GOAT first. I didn't say PR, and then you were talking about the PR. And then I said, oh, guess who has the highest PR? GOAT. But I've been saying LeBron's GOAT, right? But then you said, nah, we not using just that.
Gregory working today.
No,
Tap
that's
dancing.
it. Did you just tell me we're not using it?
Tap dancing all
Are we
over the
using
place.
PR or not? Because LeBron could have been quit and then had the highest PR.
No,
but
because Mike has it.
But
And
LeBron.
he's not even second. Nicola is the second one on there.
That's
Then
my,
it's LeBron.
That's my point. LeBron could have been quit, but he ain't quitting for PR. He's playing for points. He's playing for rebounds, assists, and all that. That's my thing. I don't agree with y'all with the impact thing because I don't know how to measure that unless you give me
I
something.
can't.
know
Who
Jordan's
who
impact.
who buying Bron's shoes?
LeBron.
That's about it.
Maybe not.
Man, you ever see somebody fighting over some bronze?
But why is that a thing? In anybody buying
nobody
TV
got
shows?
shot.
Because he was so
that-
great. He was so great that everybody wanted his
I got
shoes.
another pair.
No, but I think you're so biased that you can't talk about nobody else in that greatness because you got on Jordans right now. Like you like
Because he was great.
like what were you doing? You couldn't be on the jury. You don't see just wear KDs.
Never.
No other sport do they carry. Do they wear TB12s?
You ain't never heard anybody get robbed. He said you ain't never heard anybody get robbed for their LeBrons.
Give me the bronze.
No, they give them to you. Like, here you go.
Like, oh, shit, right. They on sale. They on sale. I'll get another pair.
And that's a good thing? Y'all sound like black people. Oh, I'm sorry.
Like,
The narrative.
man, I got these at Ross.
If I'm LeBron, that's a compliment. That's a compliment. What other goat are they caring about their shoes? Y'all making yourselves look silly.
Kobe.
Who?
Kobe.
Kobe's not a goat. Kobe's
Marcellus,
not in the
fight
GOAT
back.
conversation.
Fight
He
back.
should be.
He get worn out.
Well, you can put them in there. No, seriously. Who TB12s? You wearing Tom Brady's? You got
No.
TB12 nutritional products?
People only
I
want
don't
two
even follow
shoes.
You talking about R.
It was
Kelly
Kobe's
shoes?
and Jordans.
Y'all making my point laughing. I'm like, damn. Y'all talking about he's better than him because we like his shoes more. And yet is not the point.
missing the point.
Impact, though. You're talking about impact.
Culture. NBA is the culture.
Hold on, but
More
my
so.
point is not that I love Jordans. Here's the thing. What other GOAT are they even caring about that? You won't answer. You won't
I'm
answer.
about to answer you right now.
Please.
You're diminishing the shoe conversation because the reason why everybody wanted his shoes and fought over his shoes is because you wanted to feel like
you have
Mike.
not answered my question.
So it's a
question.
standalone.
One question. Let's do this for real. What other GOAT in
I was
any
getting
other
there.
sport?
I was
No,
getting there.
you're taking too long because you keep going to the same point
No,
because you have no other
you ain't
point.
let me finish. I was getting to that because I'm about to answer the question.
I'm gonna go to Terry now because your ass
The
don't
next
answer
person
questions.
that they did that was Kobe. All the
Kobe's
young
not the
generations
GOAT.
willing. I mean, depending on who you ask.
Well, compared to
He's
Jordan.
in that conversation.
Okay, that's great. I asked the same question once again. Name another GOAT in
Kobe.
another sport.
I just named. Oh, you said another sport.
I mean,
4 times.
and Ken
I'm
Griffey's.
gonna keep saying
They
it.
don't wear
Them
shoes
Ken
like that in
Griffey's.
other sports like they
Ken
do basketball.
Griffey.
Ken
His
Griffey's
first name
people
in my mind.
going
And
ape
Deion.
over.
And but say Deion.
Deion.
They just brought
They
Deion's
did
back.
go-
Like,
They just brought Deion's back, but that ain't the same.
But
Yeah,
no
Allen
other sport
Iverson's-
is like basketball when it comes to
Everybody
shoes. So that's
had
not a
an
fair
AI.
question.
Nobody in football.
Michael Vicks.
Nah.
No, but he's not a GOAT
But
conversation.
it's not a fair question because in other sports,
It is a
shoes
fair
don't
question.
get that attention like
Ken
basketball.
Griffey got the
It's a
attention for
fair
shoes.
question.
Tiger
but not like
Woods.
basketball.
Tiger
But
Woods.
other sport. We're talking about
Tiger
another sport.
Woods.
He's talking about the shoes.
He can't stay
Shoes
focused.
specifically.
Tiger Woods.
The
golf
question
shoes.
is, and the question is probably damning to your argument, they don't care about shoes in other sports because that maybe not is a great criteria for showing who's the best at that sport.
No, because other
I
sports
think
wear
if every
cleats.
other sport is doing one thing and then this sport is like, it's because we sold his shoes. I may be looking at that one sport like maybe y'all getting that wrong.
There's a reason for that though. My bad.
No, go ahead, tell him.
No, go.
Other
'Cause
sports
he
where-
won't get there.
Nah.
He won't get to it. Trust me.
I just don't try to see the hate coming. Because you know he getting cooked.
I'm not getting
In
cooked.
most of these other sports, they wear cleats. That doesn't transition well to off the field. off the
Most
sport.
other sports, no, it ain't.
In basketball, you can
Tennis
literally
ain't
play
cleats.
basketball and then you can wear those same shoes and hang out. That makes a big difference when it comes to buying shoes.
Fashion.
That's a
plays
fashionable
role,
thing,
too.
and like you can wear.
Y'all
basketball
trying to tell me
shoes
he's a
as
GOAT because
fashion.
he got fashion?
I'm saying
I know you're not.
No, you can wear
I'm
basketball
just-
shoes as.
I get
a
it. I
fashion.
get it. So you can
can't
have
do
it on
that
your
with
pie
other
chart.
sports.
You can have it on your pie chart. I'll take points over my shoes, but you do you. Because
Well, I didn't bring up shoes. That's
he's like, this ain't my
that's
really my
impact.
point.
I brought up impact, and he used shoes
Yeah.
as impact,
Yeah.
which I agree.
So
with.
who is your GOAT conversation? Because it sounds like I heard Kobe, I heard Jordan. Who
LeBron
else?
in there.
LeBron?
You can throw LeBron in there.
No,
He's in an argument.
Is he in the argument for y'all?
Kareem.
Kareem? Ain't nobody wearing big man shoes, so that doesn't count. Who is the GOAT to all y'all is Jordan, right? And I think it's LeBron. No?
I mean, I understand Jordan. My favorite player is Magic, but that's just me.
Is that the GOAT?
He did say
yeah,
favorite.
favorite player.
You said
GOAT is
favorite.
Two different things.
My favorite player is Kevin Durant. I don't throw him in the GOAT.
I'll say Mike. It's Jordan.
Is Jordan?
It's Jordan.
Okay.
You said Mike like you know him.
I just
He
spent
got
enough
a
money.
shoes on.
I just spent enough money with that.
You got a shoes on.
Who your GOAT?
No, I'm just thinking when we're gone, right? When we're all gone, that next generation, are they talking about Jordan? I still see kids on the court saying Kobe. They're 8, 9, 10 years old. I don't hear them saying Jordan.
Where you live again? Yeah. Okay, no, just checking LA. Like LA
But
got
no,
us.
but even I guarantee you at any of the school campuses around here, they're probably saying Kobe.
Well, that's
No.
because you're going to games at Sports Academy, which was
No,
Kobe's
down
home.
to OC.
Yeah.
If you go
Yeah.
OC, they're saying Kobe.
Dog, I think it's a lot of Kobe love out here that's different than it's
Outside of
spreads.
Cali.
Well,
I was
part
doing
one.
that as a kid out
But-
in New York.
But
saying
Steph Curry
Kobe.
had a wave.
We
Steph
said
Curry had a
Jordan.
wave where Steph Curry was everything to these kids everywhere you went, right? And maybe still is.
Yeah.
LeBron got a wave no matter what you want to say. Talk to these kids. My daughters talk about LeBron. They said, Dad, are we going to go see LeBron James play? Every time I talk about pro basketball.
But they don't be sitting around.
live
They
in
don't be
LA
sitting around
too.
talking
Yeah,
about
true.
LeBron. LeBron when he
No,
first
nobody's doing that.
Nobody's done that.
Nobody's
So
done
is
that.
that part of
Be
the
like-
that's part of the non-GOAT
I wanna
conversation.
be like LeBron.
Never
Right.
heard
Relevance
kids
is
say
important.
that. Kids say that.
Well, that's marketing. He bought that. Oh, they
Hey.
bought that. That's not fair.
LeBron
kids
got
said they wanted to be
marketing
like,
too.
kids want to be
Hey.
like Kobe
Nobody said
on the
that.
court. Yeah, they did.
I mean, you want to ball like him, but I ain't never hear like Kobe.
I never heard somebody say they want to be like Kobe, like LeBron in any facet.
How much y'all consider this?
What? He's married with great kids and a billionaire.
I do appreciate that. Yeah.
I mean, no.
I wasn't
that's
talking
a-
about that.
I respect
Oh,
that.
well, what are you talking about?
Anybody
He don't
want to
get
be
in
a
trouble.
billionaire.
So what you saying?
I'm
He's the greatest person of all time, maybe. Greatest athlete.
Yeah.
Nobody
Is that part of
questions
the-
LeBron as a person. We talking sports. Like him.
I'm talking sports,
as a
too.
basketball player. I'm not talking about his wife and kids.
I'm talking about, yeah. But he's better, better than Jordan. I don't like that argument because you're in the barbershop too long. I'm saying you can't say he worse than Jordan. You cannot.
I can.
How?
Worse is a strong word, but
Like, how is he worse than Jordan?
Worse
He didn't
just
play
sounds
with
bad, but that's
Pippen.
what it
He
is.
didn't play with Phil Jackson.
Played with Dwayne Wade. Played with Chris Bosh.
Kyrie.
Anthony
with Ray
Davis.
Allen.
He played with a video technician coach.
Played with Ray Allen.
He got he
played with a lot of
turned
Hall
the
of
video
Famers.
technician dude into a
He went to a
coach
lot of
that
jewelers
is a Hall of
to
Famer
find
now.
Who won the
He
two
went-
finals without him? So
He
he's a good coach.
Yeah. Now
he went to a lot of jewelers to find his rings. He went to a lot of different jewelers to find his rings.
yeah.
So
Wouldn't you if you loved her?
nah,
I'm locked in.
I'm gonna get my one.
Y'all
and
so
then-
stubborn. Y'all stubborn
So
to a fault.
he was a different he found his rings. He wouldn't chase his rings, so he does love and believe in ring culture.
I ain't mad at it.
Period.
Who's that?
Right.
LeBron.
I ain't mad at it. It's just
And
the
that's
fact that he
because
asked the
and
question.
that's because he coming up short. He trying to be like, it ain't that important.
No, I think gun to the head. All right, I don't want to dismiss that. I'm learning better through my wife to not dismiss that because I'm usually dismissive and thinking my point is better. I'm going to say this. How about this alternative point? You have been at a job. You've been anywhere day one, rookie, freshman, and you just went along to figure out what was going on. And then once you figured out what was going on, you figured out when you're going to have enough pull to change this shit. And that usually takes time, right? Every team you've been on, you're like, oh, these dudes over here tripping. But I'm going to go to the wing dinner with them. These dudes are fools. All right, I'm going to go to this thing. You just keep going. You be like, one day when I'm the man on this team, we ain't doing none of this shit, right? And I swear that's LeBron with ring culture. He came into a league that obviously with Kobe there and Jordan just left, it's like, dog, if you ain't got these rings and everybody. Magic didn't have to say that. Bird didn't have to say that. Jordan didn't even have to say it. They put it on Jordan. Jordan literally said, I'm not trying to have that conversation because that's diminishing Bill Russell and stuff. He's like, I don't even believe in that. So this is him. Then LeBron is the first one who has to actually live up to that. And he's like, all right, this is the culture. I'm a freshman. Let me do it. I'm going to go get rings. 7 years later, he's like, shit, they killing me. This ain't going to get me anything. Let me go along with the gang. It's, to me, really what Outkast did. Outkast knew from hello they wasn't about to talk about girls and drugs and weed forever. But they said, let's start off that way, get in there, and change the world. That's my thought on why LeBron is now saying it, because he got the power to say it.
So LeBron's
Ben
playing.
had the power.
There's layers to that, though.
So LeBron's playing the flute now. Is that what you're saying?
No, yeah, basically.
He running.
Be real. Y'all all have done that. Went somewhere and be like, all right, I'll put up with this bullshit until I can change it, and then I change it.
I mean, I'll back you up on that a little
That's
bit.
not the same
because
argument, though.
when he first came into the league, he was about having fun, and it was more a playful thing, and like I can see where he might not have been a ring guy. Like that wasn't his main.
I just want a
focus.
ball.
I can see that. I can see that, and then that got beat into him. I can see that.
Only reason why I don't agree with that is because I think he thought it was going to happen for him easily.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he had already won it. He'd been winning easily in high school. He was winning in the AAU circuit. So he probably felt like I'm that. He was playing with NBA players before he got to the league in the summertime. So I feel like he came in thinking like, I'm going to just do me and I'm going to get the ring. And then when it wasn't happening, then it was like, all right.
I got to go.
I got to start chasing it.
Right.
Is that
That was the
bad?
reality. It's not bad for him to chase it. It's just how he did it.
If we're not gonna feed you, you're not gonna get something to eat. Like sooner or later, you be like, dog, y'all ain't feeding me.
I mean, the players before him weren't doing that. They stayed where
because
they
none
were
of them
at.
ever had that as anticipation.
But
not even Jordan.
That's true.
Not
But
even
I think
Jordan.
He also brought that on himself by doing several things. You come in, you calling yourself the chosen one. After Jordan is there, you putting a spotlight on yourself, even though he already had it. Then when he went to Miami and he goes there and says, we're going to win not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4.
That ain't
you,
it.
You putting a target on your back by doing that. Nobody.
But
when he
boy,
went to-
didn't we get hyped when he did that?
Yeah, but nobody when he went to Miami says like, oh yeah, I know you're gonna win 6 there.
But it's
He
a
put
pep
that on
rally. You
himself.
ever been held accountable at a pep rally?
Yeah, and you got to stand on that.
No, you don't.
If you say-
Did y'all win city championship or state championship? No, you didn't. But I know at your pep rally, y'all said, we win a state this year.
Number one finger.
And when you don't win and people call you out on it, you got to own that.
Who has
'Cause
ever
said
called
it.
you out on a high school pep rally?
We're not talking about high school. We're
Well,
talking about
that's
the NBA.
the point.
You
Cats
said you
lie
was
all the
gonna
time
win
at
a
pep
We
rallies.
ain't talking about high school.
That
We're talking
was a
about the
pep
pros.
rally.
Right, but we talking about the pros.
It don't matter. He's
He's
still a
old
big
enough
kid.
and wise enough to know better. When you go there and you start talking
Why
like
is he?
that.
Oh, you're making my point. Because no one else had ever had to deal with it, so he the first one. He's
was
the
already dealing
windshield.
with it. He was already dealing with it. That's why he said it.
No,
Because he already had that
he
charge
never-
on his back
no
that
one's-
you didn't win yet.
No one's ever had to deal with you better win rings or else. Not even Jordan. Jordan became a standard. Kobe was becoming and became a standard. No one ever came and failed at that.
I agree
So
with
you
you.
got no one knew the rules. No one knew the backlash. He's the first one that had to deal with, oh, you fucked up. Everybody else who didn't do it, we don't
You know
care.
why nobody else did it?
Why?
Because they knew better.
Here's
No,
a
but Justin, hold on,
there
Justin,
was
target
no
on
better
myself.
to know.
No, Justin, here's the
You gotta
parallel I'll
make
give
the
you.
point.
Think about Mike Trout. Some consider the greatest of all time, but what did he do? He stuck with a sorry team. He stuck with the Anaheim Angels. He didn't pull a LeBron. He could have. You know who did? His teammate, Shohei. He left, went to the Dodgers, and won a ring.
Yeah.
He doesn't get hate for that. No one tells him you're a traitor, sell out for leaving the
Ooh.
Angels and going to
Baseball
the
is
Dodgers.
a different animal.
Maybe it's more logical.
The same point that he brought up earlier. In baseball, it's two different. There's so much that you can't control. In basketball, you play on both sides of the ball. So star players
You're
and
playing
great
for a
players have more
losing
control.
organization. You know you're playing for a losing
get
organization
'em.
that doesn't want to win, doesn't care to win. Trout's career
That
is
wasn't
wasted.
LeBron's case, though.
No, but that's what I'm getting at is why
That
why
was
is he getting
LeBron's
backlash
case.
for
Cleveland
leaving for a
Wasn't
team
playing
that
for
wanted
a
to win?
losing organization. They went to the finals.
No, the losing
He-
organ.
he-
Hold on.
he just
have
didn't
they
win.
ever won?
He just didn't win.
Cleveland never won. They won regular
But
season
when
games.
he was there, they were a winning franchise. They had not won a championship, but they were going to the playoffs.
No,
and
we're
finals
talking about
numerous years.
that's what we're talking about, like winning it, the rings. Rings, keep our eyes on the prize. He's at a place that has never won a ring, and they went to one championship, and that starting lineup, he had no shot. So he's like, oh, he's the first to be judged and tried and executed by a new culture, which is ring culture.
Well, here's maybe this is an analogy you'll help. When you're young, you chase money.
Yeah.
Right? Everything's about making money, working. As you get older, that chase becomes less important to you. Right? So people start saying, that's not important. The things you thought were important when you were young aren't important to you when you're old.
Yeah.
There's just perspective changes. That doesn't mean that that's not how it should be for the people who are still in that chase.
So what's important to LeBron at this point if he says ring culture is kind of overrated?
Who knows?
Goat.
I don't know.
You know what I'm
Dog,
saying?
ball till you fall.
Getting that goat status.
Clearly.
100%.
It's over for that.
I don't think if I'm him, I'm not even thinking it was about GOAT status. Because look, there's enough people. No. Because look, listen, being real, there's enough people who say he is the GOAT that got voices, and there's all these players, active players that say LeBron's the GOAT, and there's enough people that say Jordan's the GOAT. So it's not that. I think it is. Be real. If you were healthy and went pro in tennis like you did, and could have been the top dog for a long time, and then right there, you just do it. You ball till you fall. Like all of us are examples of you ball till you fall. You stop balling because you falling, and he ain't failed. I mean, can it be that simple? People always want to make it more. Maybe it's just like, dog, I'm 41 almost, and I can still get 25 plus in the NBA and make 50, 60 million and play with my son. Can y'all stop making it different? And then, look, of course he would love to be called the GOAT, but guess what? If he called Jordan, whenever they get cool, he going to be like, Jordan be like, everybody don't call me the GOAT, and everybody ain't going to call you the GOAT. So if you chasing that, boy, hang up. That's how I see LeBron. You don't see it that way?
I mean, I think LeBron is a great player. I don't think there's no debate in that. But he is the one that you brought up how Mike was like, I don't want to talk about the rings because I don't want to diminish the other greats. But with the ring talk,
Yeah, Bill
Mike
Russell.
also never called himself the GOAT, and LeBron did.
Yeah,
LeBron
yeah.
called himself the GOAT.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can't say
He
things.
gave the reason why too. He
Yeah.
said because of that right there.
Yeah, there's one ring.
There's
That's
one
why
ring.
I'm the GOAT. So
That
you-
3-1 comeback, we talking?
Yeah, so he can't play victim to something that you put on yourself. Like he puts the target on his back, and then if something doesn't happen his way or it doesn't turn out the way he wants, now he's playing this whole like, it doesn't really mean much.
In the
you know,
court of
all
law,
that.
y'all
You can't
win
do
in that case. Like, I'm losing my case to y'all. Y'all case is stronger because you got the smoking gun. Dog, you just said this and all that. Now, here's why the juror, still is with LeBron, even though y'all about to get him in trouble, is because if you look at it, LeBron said that I'm the GOAT, But he was saying that when he had fewer rings than Jordan, which shows it ain't all about rings. To LeBron. Right. And then he tried to control a narrative that he thinks is senseless then. So maybe that was his first sign.
How you gonna have it both ways? If the reason why he's the GOAT and it's not because of a ring, why does he point to him winning a ring is what made
I think
him
he
the
pointed
GOAT?
to the circumstances, and the ring showed it. No, he was down 3-1 to the best team ever in NBA history by records in the regular season. They were
73-9.
They were 73-9, beat Jordan 72-10 team, and they were down 3-1, and they still came back on them boys.
Oh,
They
Draymond got ejected?
Yeah.
When he didn't play anymore?
No, he didn't. That matters? Oh, that's what we doing here?
Of course
that matters.
That changed the whole series.
Of course
That
it does.
literally changed the whole series.
But look, that's one game or two games. He got hurt. I mean, he got ejected, and then the next game he missed. But that means the other game, and the other game, you had to win 4. So, like,
played in Game 7. That's when he hurt LeBron on that dunk attempt, right? With 50 seconds left, they were up 3. Isn't that the game?
too deep.
I think Draymond had a triple double that game 7.
Yeah, he had 30 something in
balled
that
out.
Game 7. Right? He balled out. Yeah, he had 30 some points.
So look at you already going back to diminish that one, and y'all gonna act like we ain't gonna diminish last night. Motherfucker, okay, see,
See what I'm
that's
saying?
how people are.
That's how it works.
It shouldn't work that way, and I think
It worked that way because you're talking. If SGA came out and said, the reason why I'm the GOAT and pointed to this game, people going to say, well, yeah, we don't know what would have happened if Helly was still all right.
And that's how they control you. That's why you got to go in understated all the time. That's the suckiest part about our culture. That's why Deion Sanders is a winner, because people can't shut him up and he keep accomplishing. They want you to be quiet so that you don't deal with criticism. But, dog, that's why people are so scared to be cocky. I don't want my kids or kids I coach to be cocky, but I want them to be everything on that border. You know why? Because it's almost like this culture tells you, if you come in too loud, we're going to criticize you. We're going to hold you to a different standard. We're going to make it hard on you. So bring all that on. I'm still going to be me. I'm going to be loud. I'm going to be obnoxious within respect and reason, right?
I love it.
They do that. And then they like, well, SGA better be quiet if you say something. If you think you better than Chris Paul because you got a ring now, then it's like, dog, I can't say that.
He could talk that talk now, though.
Oh, he can, huh?
Oh, yeah.
His resume,
He's better than Chris Paul already? I mean, he's greater.
for sure.
Yeah.
He's
This
definitely a
one year
better.
MVP
He's definitely a
and
better leader
This
for sure.
1 year, he accomplished more than Chris Paul's whole career.
It's crazy.
This 1 year. MVP,
I know. Opens up the
Western
floor.
Conference Finals MVP, you win the championship, and you win Finals MVP, and the scoring title in 1 year.
Yeah.
Chris Paul ain't win none of those.
We got a triple crown in the league. I don't know what you call that.
We got a name for it.
You got to figure something out.
We got to do
Let's call him
something
dominant.
different. This don't feel right.
Is SGA, is he a point guard?
Yeah.
He's a combo guard. He's
He's the point guard.
He's not a
He
pure point
controls
guard.
the ball every play.
He's the point.
He's the
point guard.
facilitator.
Yeah.
He's the point guard.
He's a new age point guard. Like,
It's modern day point
because he's,
guard.
I mean, I never heard a point guard leading the lead in scoring. Like,
That's not a point guard.
Okay. Tell me about these guys. And we're going to get back to that Chris Paul. That doesn't feel right. I hope I don't live in a world where, God dang, already Chris Paul? But that's a good world to be in if you're SGA. But
yeah.
he has
That was
passed.
his mentor, too.
I know. God dang.
So
Daniel-
you must have Chris Paul as a top 5 point guard
Listen,
of all time.
Me?
Yeah.
He was.
So you got
Damn you,
say that
Daniel's
again?
son. I had Magic, of course. Steph.
Paul.
Are we calling Steph? What are we doing
Steph's
with
a
Steph?
point guard.
I'm gonna say Steph. I'm gonna say
Okay.
Isaiah.
Isaiah.
I mean, I hate
It
to
was
say-
Chris Paul?
hate to
Jason
say-
Kidd.
Jason Kidd was there.
I mean,
How do you
Stockton.
all? How do you not
Stockton.
have? How do you not have Walt Frazier?
Nash.
Pure point guard, though.
Nash.
Walt Frazier's better than all those dudes.
I ain't watching.
I ain't see that.
I wasn't
can't-
alive, Richie.
Sorry, Richie. You all
No,
guys
sorry,
just don't get
G.
the same love.
That's
The
when that
brothers.
belly was flat. Nobody remember that. Hold on, look at this list before we let Terry cook. Kevin Durant, respect his game? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Draymond, Dwayne Wade, Shaq, AI, Isaiah, Richard Jefferson, Tracy McGrady, Gilbert Arenas, all ballers, right?
What list is this?
The list of all the people who say LeBron's the GOAT. Just check.
You don't want to read the other names.
Oh, yeah. There's other
You don't want
names.
to do the list of people that said Mike's ago.
Well, of course. The other list is
Yeah,
too
of
long.
course.
The other list is too long. But my point is, don't chase that. I hope LeBron, if you're watching, big dog, do not chase the GOAT status because you will never go to bed. Like Jordan ain't got the GOAT status. He got the GOAT status, but I mean, what do you get? A fat head? Like
I just want to say Kobe's better than everybody on that list you just named. That he said Mike was the GOAT. So all those names is just useless.
But no.
How? Naming them for?
Kobe's better than who?
Everybody you just named.
Because LeBron name is included in here too. Because he's LeBron.
well,
he ain't better than
You
LeBron.
can't say I'm not. We exclude
Or
LeBron.
exclude the guy that excludes it. There was a time when
This
T-Mac
is not a
and
good
Kobe
argument.
was the same.
We talk about
Jury can't
everybody
vote.
outside of
Jury can't
LeBron.
vote.
on
You
that
just
list.
said he called himself the GOAT, so he's on the
Right,
list
I'm saying
too.
Everybody on
You
that
didn't think
list.
that point was coming back, did you?
Everybody that you just named.
I'll give you that one.
That was a terrible point.
No,
cosign. That was terrible. Hey, everybody. You see, I didn't want to name nobody on the list.
Just a lot of arguments. There's always that one exception.
Because he
If
never
Jordan would have called himself the
list.
GOAT, you could take Jordan, but Jordan didn't call
You
himself
named
the GOAT.
McGrady. I heard you name McGrady. I forget the other names, but they not
Yeah, I
better
bet
than
you
Kobe.
do. I bet you do. Bet you did forget it. But the point is, he ain't gonna never chase that because it's forever. It's just the moniker that is. What do you think?
He
being
tried
real,
chasing it though.
but it's
He
okay.
tried.
It's okay if he wants to or not. That's his prerogative. But what do you think is 100%? 20, 80, 30, 70, 99, 1? Who is saying Jordan's the GOAT and who's saying LeBron's the GOAT?
80.
80? Okay.
I think 80.
I could live with 20%. Especially if they're young. Especially because they're going to be.
That's going to change over time.
that's
Yeah.
Exactly. It's going to change over time.
The age.
It's going to keep going up for
'Cause
LeBron,
I'm sure at
huh?
a point everybody said Kareem was the GOAT.
Yeah.
And then
They
the
ain't
Jordan
even mention
argument
GOAT.
got stronger.
We
and
live in
that
a
changed.
digital age too, and we're actually seeing LeBron. After LeBron retires, whenever that is, about 5 years after retirement, do you really think people are still going to consistently talk about LeBron or Jordan?
Both, but LeBron.
Heavier.
I don't think they're going to talk about LeBron when he's
They
done.
might talk about
Flowers. Everyone
Just
gets their
don't talk.
flowers.
That's a good point. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Y'all don't
I
think
never
so?
thought about that actually.
What?
I don't think they're going to talk about LeBron like that
Not
when he's
5 years
gone.
after retirement. Not heavy.
Why?
I feel like honestly they're going to talk about Curry more. He
Yeah.
changed the game.
I think
And
we
I-
talk about LeBron so much now because it's always on sports media. Like he's always the topic in current sports
Why is he
conversations. Because he's the face of the league still. He's the biggest name in basketball. So and shows thrive off of talking about him. But once he's no longer there,
The relevancy.
yeah,
What
he's
is-
not
what is it?
relevant. To
And I
talk
think he
about
knows
at
that
point.
now. That's why he's doing all his media companies and about to talking about being a commentator on on Amazon or something.
You don't think he has the same tail as Jordan to some degree? Why?
No.
Wizards Jordan, did you expect him to be still, we're talking about him 20-some years later?
This right here is seamless
Those
talking about
shoes?
Jordan.
Yeah.
It's seamlessly in the conversation.
Oh, so LeBron doesn't have his
It's just,
thing yet?
It's just seamless.
LeBron only has basketball.
The GOAT conversation
stop.
is just
regards
in
to
the
He's a
season.
billionaire,
in
not
regards
off of
to staying
basketball.
in the conversation. Like you could talk about his businesses, but if you turn on ESPN and he 5 years after he's retired, is it a whole show about a movie he did? No, there's plenty of other players who are involved in entertainment and media outside.
So
of
just
basketball.
Jordans.
I mean,
That's
even,
it.
even the Pacers
That's
had the
crazy.
Jordan emblem on their jerseys. Like they're on the jerseys, college jerseys, pro jerseys.
Yeah,
Like it's just a
that's
seamless
nasty.
reminder.
Yeah, though.
It's a gentle reminder that he's around.
It's not dirty.
I ain't care for
LeBron even remade Jordan's movie.
Yeah, right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's his son for life. That's his son for like a.
But here's where LeBron will stay relevant. You forget
males.
Bronny and Bryce will eventually be in the league, so we'll keep talking about
What?
LeBron.
I heard
Don't
he
bank
got a
on that.
walk-on in Arizona.
I mean,
Yeah.
That don't sound like league worthy.
He walked on. I didn't know.
I heard he was a special walk-on.
said
That's what I
Bronny
heard.
too?
Is it? Was he?
He
He
said
was
Bronny
right.
and Bryce.
Yeah.
We'll
That
probably
don't
talk
sound like
about
league
LeBron,
for
Bryce, and
Because
Bronny.
of his-
Yeah.
Because of his son.
If Jordan's son was
Yeah.
in the league, we'd be talking about Jordan more. He just wasn't good enough.
Right. For sure.
Yeah, we talk about him for the wrong reasons, actually.
Yeah. Did y'all see this beef because it's connected to this? Would y'all rather lose in the first round of the playoffs, NBA?
No.
Or get to the finals and lose? Because Swaggy P and Kenyon went to blows damn near almost on the same combo.
That's a crazy argument to me. So you would rather not beat other teams, progress your way through the playoffs, and lose in the first round than to get to the finals and lose? That goes against everything competitive ever.
Do you understand the other side though?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you don't think this
No,
that has credence?
absolutely
Come
not.
on. All right, you've lost before. Now, I agree with you. Kenyon was right. I think Swaggy was wrong. Swaggy said, I'd rather lose in the first round because I know we ain't got a shot. Forget all that extra stuff. I like your point, but I do understand where Nick Young's coming from. It hurts so much more to lose when you that damn close that some people don't want to deal with that pain. They rather deal with, okay, it's gonna hurt, but it ain't gonna hurt nearly the same.
But that's a loser mentality.
That's not a loser mentality.
How can you be a good, efficient pro if you scared to lose?
Hey, the thin line between winning and losing, love and hate. I agree with you. I'm just gonna defend that other side and say, well, he's saying, look, Kenyon, y'all wasn't beating the Lakers. Why y'all get so close to act like you're gonna beat the Lakers and then all you're dealing with was the pain? Kenyon retorts, as he should, dog, you never know when the ball's in the air. Anything can happen. Somebody get hurt over there. We could just play out our minds, all that kind of stuff. Logical. Emotionally, though, if you get that far and you get nowhere because you didn't win a ring, you don't understand the other side. Like, forget it then. Let me be like the rest of these 28 teams.
You know what? Because emotionally, to me, I would be in a better emotional state if I overachieved and made it to the finals and then lost to the eventual winner.
Indy.
Then
the Pacers right now.
Yeah, then getting eliminated first round like a scrub.
Yeah, that's my only argument for it. It hurts more when you lose when you're that close. You ever a photo finish and you've seen it in track? That person is beside themselves.
But you know, okay, if I tweak a little bit, maybe I'll get over the hump next time.
Or versus the person who got out the blocks bad and just was like, I knew I lost from the hello. It's a different. Y'all both lost. You know that, right? So
yeah, you took the L. But I think it shows more so regardless of the outcome is we lost. But what does it show? How you answer it? It shows more about the importance you put on it. You know what I mean? So, for example, I growing up, childhood crush, J-Lo. Right?
J-Lo?
So, yeah.
That's a childhood crush for you?
Childhood crush.
Damn, I was a man when she came out. Old as shit.
I'm older than her.
Packing district.
J to the moon.
Ain't J-Lo your age? Don't shout about the same age?
Gotta be.
Right, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I just turned 40.
Oh, God. So
We the same, born the same year.
who's older?
Yeah, he just turned 40. I'm December.
Oh, you just turned 40. Yeah. You're 39? You talk 39, son.
And you talk 50.
We're not laughing. That's just a compliment. You know what I'm saying? Talk about that. All right, finish your story.
Nah, but yeah, like I see J-Lo's childhood crush. Always said, man, if I ever see J-Lo, I'ma holler at her.
Let's
right?
see. I know
it's
you
just a little
see the
childhood crush, man. I grow up, make my way, go to the NFL. I'm finally in a position where I cross her. I see her, and it's like, dang, I ain't got no chance, right? Ain't no point going to talk to her and taking an L. But it's important to me. I got to go out this way.
You spit.
I'm going to go holler. That's the thing. You go out regardless.
No,
So it just
don't
shows
get
you-
off that track. Keep
You gotta
going.
leave that alone.
So what happened? I waited on the spit. Obviously, he lost.
Forget the sport.
Hey, I'm with Swaggy on this one.
But did you make it to the finals?
Hell no, he ain't making it to the finals.
I got to see a little bit of the playoffs. How about that?
And that story's more interesting than you not doing it.
So I got to get that's more interesting.
I was sitting there like,
interesting.
Yeah, you had me right there. Damn.
It just shows on how important it is to you. And Swag just said, "Look, man, I don't want to waste my time." That's just his point. It's
That's
like,
what
bro,
it is.
But that's
well,
what-
I'ma go out
that's
here and
what you
sweat
do for a
when I can
living,
sit
though.
back.
Lose mentality.
Unless you getting
Yeah,
paid more,
that
that's
is
the thing. You get
good
paid
point.
more, I do it. If
Losing.
not, what's the point? It's an L.
He
but
said
see,
it.
that
Championships ain't that important.
personifies the difference between Kenyon and Nick Young.
Tell me.
Right there.
That mentality also goes back. Last week, one of the episodes we were talking about, I'm like, everybody in the NBA don't work hard. They don't all work to the same level. And that mentality right there proves it.
That
Because
does
you got
not
one
prove it.
person who's like, I'm going all in. I don't care if I lose early and I want to be there. And other guys like,
See, so first of all, see, this is wrong, and this is wrong what you just did. You colored him like, he worked hard, he came up short, and there's like, I'm okay with it. Why do you want? I hated these guys who played, and then the game's over, and they acting like they didn't play. Which meant, and losing their fucking mind. Like, dog, if you would have played better, it would have all worked out. Or if it doesn't work out, play better next time. You like that production, that fakeness. Like, how do you know Swaggy P didn't work hard?
let me clarify.
Okay,
that.
okay.
I'm not saying Swaggy did not work hard. I'm talking about his mentality. There's a mentality difference in players, and everybody does not have the same mentality.
Mamba.
Yeah, exactly. There's levels to how people approach the game.
You sure mentality or personality?
It could be
Because
both. It could be both.
Barry didn't say a word, didn't care. They called him aloof.
This is a mentality thing.
They used
When
to
you
call-
talk- based
they-
on what he said.
But it's a mentality thing. How? He didn't say anything wrong. He said, I know we lost. I'd rather lose. He didn't say, I want to lose in the first round. He said, neither one of us won it all. I'd rather lose in the first round than lose in the finals.
Yeah, none of us agree with that, including you.
work hard to lose.
I want that, but I don't think that that's a loser mentality because neither one of y'all gonna win.
Yeah, because Justin, he could also be saying, we don't know for sure, but he could be saying, I'd rather have that extra time to heal up, rest, plan for next season, get better. Right?
It could be a lot of things.
Go on that journey.
I'm trying to
We
go
don't
as
know.
far as I can.
Yeah, that
and lose.
No, but I think your perspective is and
not loser
and win.
mentality.
He already knows it's an L. He's clowning Kenyon because Kenyon went to the finals twice and lost both times, including getting swept, I think. So he like, dog, you lost. I went to the finals once and won. So he's like, all right, I'd rather just lose in the first round. Draymond really said it, and then he agreed with Draymond. I'd rather lose in the first round than do all that huffing and puffing like, oh, I'm about to go get with J-Lo, and J-Lo go like this. Versus, I know if someone walk up here and say, she gon' dish you, now, what you gonna do? You gonna just keep her in your imagination, or you gonna go all the way there?
You gotta
and
try
say,
it.
You got to get that out.
Why? No.
That's mentality,
baby.
That's where that kicks in.
Big dog. The answer is no. You're not changing the answer. You still don't care. You still don't understand it. He said, we know you're going to lose. I think we're assuming we get close and we try and we get a buzzer beater. He's like, no, y'all losing to the Lakers, dog. You wouldn't change it?
No. I want to get
I
to
get
that
it, me.
finals. I wanna
Well,
get
you
there.
you played for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
They went to 4 straight Super Bowls, right? And lost all of them.
Best case study for this.
Do you think that they would have preferred to lose in the first round?
Absolutely not.
Right.
But but
Oh man, I feel like I be listening to 2 different people live.
He does this whole day.
I agree with you guys, but I'm trying to defend.
You said that multiple times.
I've said
He's
it
on
multiple
your
times.
side.
Y'all
Let's
just
say you
be
agree. I know.
Yeah. But here's the thing: if you know you're gonna lose, now be the Buffalo Bills. Not you got a shot. You can win. That's what he's saying. He's saying like, dog, get out of there. Then what you doing?
But see,
Well, because Richie, let's say there are 100 players on the Bills. There's probably 1 or 2 that would take the other point of view.
And they
Not
were
all
pro- they
100
were
are gonna say,
probably
"I'd rather go to the
bench
finals
warmers.
and lose."
I don't know who they are, but
that was,
I don't know who they are. I'm just saying.
It's still an
there could be 1 or
accomplishment
2.
to get there.
Yeah, that's the
oh,
question.
absolutely, I agree.
and
So I
you
wanna
win
be-
your whole division. You beat everybody else.
And conference.
And your conference, you beat everybody else but this one team.
Right.
But what's deeper is how we get into character and look at that guy like his mentality. It's really a personality, I think, being around athletes. I think it's really a personality. I knew some guys who people thought worked harder just because they were there longer. I was like, nah, he just there longer. Maybe he has a slower retention rate. Like he needs more time. I knew guys that were looking the part, who would act the part before, during, and after the game. And they thought they worked harder. And I was like, no. Some of the greatest players I knew wanted to hide their work. Remember those days where, hey man, just stick to your own and don't show people your work. Like I used to be in class and I was the type that I didn't want you to cheat off me. Because I remember last night, I didn't go outside and play. Your ass did. Now your ass just gonna get the come up? Nah, motherfucker.
That's hate.
Yeah, it is. I don't care about damn. And I would
that
tell
paper,
you, boy,
man.
don't be cheating off me. Like, hell nah.
Big
Well,
old snitch.
one of they gonna, I'm a snitch too. All these things are, yeah, you're accurate. Your ass didn't do the work. And then you want, and I know it ain't gonna help you in the long run, because all you're gonna do is hit your wagon to me, and there's gonna be one test I ain't gonna be here for you, bro. And I'm gonna be in a different class. I was just like, that's dumb shit. So I hate it when people do what you did. Nah, I love you, but I hate when people are like, he ain't want it. Why he ain't want it? Because he tapped out. Why he tap out? Because he knew he couldn't win. It's like, that's okay. Sometimes you are not going to win. When they throw in the towel, you're not going to win. You're not weak. You ain't got a weak mentality. You just knew you weren't going to win.
I don't know.
Justin,
I-
what about this scenario? Let's hear
You know what I
this.
mean?
Something to that.
Let's hear the 12th man on the bench, and you don't play a single minute the whole playoffs, first round, second round, conference finals, championship. What do you have to lose? What do you have to gain?
Because
Wouldn't you be better off not playing or being on the road for the next 2
No, I'm gonna
months?
tell you exactly why. For exact reason that happened last night with Halliburton. You never know when your number's gonna get called. You might have never played, and then that person in front of you gets hurt, and here you go.
Yeah.
Now it's your chance to perform.
What if?
That's what I'm saying. That's why
Yeah,
you. That's
that's
why
why
you
you
do
play
it.
it.
Yeah,
that's
no.
why you go all the way, because you don't know what's gonna happen.
Otherwise, you don't get that what if.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
That's really a weird conversation to me.
I never
Because they-
I don't
yeah.
understand
You
somebody
know what I
saying
mean?
that.
But then isn't it interesting to hear that perspective, though? Like, we're all having our own personal biased viewpoints. We're all in the same agreement in terms of why would we think that way, but to hear someone even bring that up.
And Draymond. I mean,
and
that's
Draymond,
two.
that means other athletes are actually thinking that way.
First of
Draymond
all,
have
I
said
don't
that
believe
he
I don't
didn't win.
believe that Draymond feels that way.
I gotta push back and look at it more. But
I think.
But would he feel that way if he didn't already have rings?
Right.
yeah, you know, your belly full.
Yeah, it changes.
you
You
get
can
what
start
you got
talking
what you
different
want.
types of ways.
Yeah,
when
you
already
sound real
been there.
rich. You got all these kind of opinions.
Somebody got $1 billion. There's things that they won't do for $1 million.
Yeah, but then Justin, you kind of
I
proved
got $1
yourself
billion.
wrong with
I'm not
that
doing
argument, right? You're saying now it's based on perspective. Draymond's already won, so now it's not about mentality. It's
No, I'm saying I wonder if that's. I don't know if that's.
You know,
what
but
I'm
it's
saying. I'm
all-
just curious.
It's the
It's all
importance.
about we don't know.
It goes back to importance again. If you let's look at it like this: you got kids, and somebody said, "Would you want to go to your son's finals, knowing he gonna lose, or would you rather him lose before the first round?"
I've heard parents say that all the time. Boy, I don't want to take that drive down to Orange County. I hope these little motherfuckers
can we
win.
lose
They-
so
they
we don't
know.
go Monday?
Yeah, they be like,
Take this L.
I don't want to go. How many times you heard that? We all guilty. Everybody be like, dog, I ain't trying to go there if they ain't gonna win. So let them lose.
It was a great question.
Yeah.
but that's a good point too.
Everybody's dad. You think his dad was like,
Yeah, but
"Dang, I
right,
wish
but
we would've
those
lost
that's
earlier."
not from the competitors'
glad he
viewpoint.
That's from a
though.
parent. mind.
That's from a parent's. That's from somebody who
your
got to
own time.
drive you to the
Yeah.
game
Yeah.
viewpoint.
That's true.
And pay $40 for parking and $20 to get in, and then another $30 for food.
Okay, but that's a human being.
That's a different viewpoint.
That's a person talking and thinking, and there's also a person playing. And don't think on that team of 12 or somebody like, dog. We've got, like, dog, I don't know if y'all ever played a team like, I mean, everybody had to. Like, we had to play Artesia, and we were damn good. But we had to play Artesia with Ed O'Bannon and Charles O'Bannon and that other 7-footer that went to SC. I forget his name. I was like, dog. I went on the team. I was like, what y'all suiting up for? Like, this shit is going to be crazy. Like, dog, they were insane. I don't know what the score was. I know they won. Sometimes you had to play the Cowboys. It's like, dog, you ain't about to beat all that. Like, back
Think
in the
about
90s.
who was it? NC State that beat Georgetown.
True. It happens. It happens. Oh, tell me this. Did y'all see this? This is tough. Reggie Bush. Y'all see Reggie Bush lost his case, a defamation case. 1.4 million he got to pay to the dude. They had an NDA. Any of y'all ever signed an NDA? Yeah. Oh, yeah. They had an NDA, and the NDA was all good. They signed it. They were agreeing to it. They all were living by it. And then remember all that resurgence of NIL and all that. Hey, give Reggie his Heisman back and all that. Well, reportedly, Reggie disparaged this guy a couple of times because this is the guy that was involved with his case and his Heisman and all that conversation.
The one who gave his parents the money.
Yeah, all of that stuff. It's like that circle. Not sure if that's this guy, but he got linked into it. And you imagine, and doing a podcast. It was a podcast. I think I Am Athlete or something like that. He talked about the guy. Then it was a tweet. Talked about the guy. And now in court, you hear a gavel and they say 1.4, and you retired.
Appeal. Appeal.
Well, that costs you
I think
more
that was
money.
yeah. And I think that was the appeal, actually. I think so.
That costs
I think
you more
that
money.
was, yeah, I read that.
That hurts.
Yeah, Reggie the homie, obviously we all know Reggie.
And typically,
Tough.
cases like that typically have a tipping point, right? So you say something, the other person gets mad, and if you're smart about it, you will retract the statement if you know it's not true.
If you know it's not true.
You know what I mean? You can, and retractions go by real quick. People forget that the stuff even happened, and it squashes everything. Typically, somebody digs their heels in on something bad that they say, ends up doubling down on it, and then something goes to court. So he probably had plenty of opportunity to turn that back away and say, my bad.
Right.
And he took the other road, and now he got to pay for it.
Fuck that. Like 1.4?
I mean,
1.4 net? Net?
yeah. Shit, Dame Dash just got hit for $800,000
On what?
for the same thing.
Defamation?
Yeah.
Oh, for who?
Cardi B too. That's how she won her case.
Yeah.
Against Tasha K.
Yeah.
But who did Dame Dash have his against?
Somebody in the movie
Yeah,
industry.
the guy he kept. I don't remember the guy's name, but he kept
Some
talking,
producer.
talking trash about the guy, and he was saying he stole my movie and all of this stuff. And
Yeah, the guy gave him plenty of opportunity to retract it or say I'm sorry or anything. He just kept doubling down, and now he's got to sell off all his assets, basically.
Cardi B with the Tasha K thing, she gave her multiple opportunities. Like, I just want you to apologize, say that you were wrong. And she just wouldn't do it.
Wouldn't do it.
And then she lost. So it was $1 million something. I don't
It
know
was
the
a
exact
lot.
number.
It may have been like
It
$4
might have been
million.
more than $1 million, a couple million. But
Because I remember seeing that judgment and being like, oh, that girl can never,
she ain't
ever
paying
pay
it.
that.
And then she like moved to Africa.
She in Africa or something right now. So
Oh, she over there with Antonio
chased her
Brown.
out
yeah,
the
make you
country.
relocate.
Yeah, Antonio Brown dipped. He said, "I'm out the country."
Oh, did he really?
That's what, yeah. I mean, if you believe his tweets, he told the girl, he told somebody, he was like, "Look, I'm out the country. I ain't got no child support and peace." And so obviously he can't serve.
I hope he plans on staying, because as soon as he crosses
They gonna
back
be
in,
waiting for him.
they're gonna get him.
Would
They
y'all
gonna flag
ever do
his
that?
passport.
Would you do that?
Flee the country?
Lee?
If you had a attempted murder out, well, you could get 3 to 7 on that. You
Russell Simmons did it. He's in Bali.
Yeah.
That's why he's in Bali.
You know what's crazy? When
That's
we
what
was
Puff
in
shoulda did.
we was in Bali, and we was taking a yoga class, and guess who walked in?
Russell.
Motherfucking Russell. I said, "It's
Real?
true. You over here chilling?"
Oh yeah.
Like if I had real charges, I'll take
Skiing.
the family. Like I don't know what real charges is.
Depends on
What
what money
year?
you gotta be really set up too. Like if you got the money to do it.
In Bali, I got $10.
Oh,
What
Bali
you say?
goes a long way.
It go a long way. You wouldn't do it, or
I'm
you
not
would stay
saying
here.
Bali specifically. You
Oh.
said would you take that option of just going out the country? I think it depends how much money you got.
I'd
how
rather
long
be
you can
broke
survive.
anywhere else than in jail
Be with
here.
your family, right?
Or
Be broke
jail.
with your family.
Like jail. Just one night. If they give me a sentence 24 hours, I'm like, I'm not going.
You gonna leave the country?
You're not gonna make
My
it.
flight gonna be longer. Jail.
Where would you go? Where would you go?
Where would I go?
Somewhere with no
Does
extradition.
it matter? Don't you got to go to certain places?
Yeah,
You
gotta,
can only go to certain places,
And
but
the
they
thing
can't
is, you got to
extradite
stay there. So
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
not
I'm
like
gone.
you can relocate and then go traveling through Europe. As soon as you leave that place with no extradition,
Richie is
they're
me.
gonna get you.
Richie is me. I ain't going nowhere. So
Right.
Wherever we set up, we set up.
That's why you're not leaving the country. Cause you don't
Nope.
travel anyway.
Oh, jail is the option. Shit. You would go to jail? How long would you go to jail? Like for real? If you got to send, huh?
A year.
A year. Oh, so a year and a half?
A year is the most I would want to.
So 1 year and 1 day, what happens?
I mean, that's still a year.
Okay, so year and a half, 2 years. Huh?
No, I didn't say a year after. I said a year.
He's like, I have my 40th birthday.
That's the most I would ever do.
You would do a year? You would do 366?
Then to leave the country forever, just for a year?
That's tough.
Nah, I'd rather do my year.
Leaving
and
the
then come
country
back
is
home.
hard, boy.
No, it ain't.
It is.
Yeah.
Where have y'all been that y'all couldn't stay forever? Ever?
Man, I go other places, and after like a week, I'm like, or maybe less, I'm ready to go home.
Where's this travel spirit now?
I did it for a week, and now I want to go home.
No, I could go to Cabo right now, and y'all would not see me ever again.
Yeah, but you can't.
You
You
get
can't.
extradited in Cabo.
Cabo
Oh,
would
no,
send
okay,
your
well,
ass
give
back.
me the list. Bali, I've never been, but I'll go.
Bali, you would be pulling the little bit of hair you have left. You'd be pulling that shit out
Why?
because you'd be bored out of your mind.
Bored doing what? Watching TV?
Right? Doing what? There's nothing to do.
Yes,
don't
there
watch
is.
TV.
There's a pickleball court being built as soon as I land. Or I'm going to the Bali Health Club. All right, what else?
You
The
can
restaurants.
Ski, you can ski.
Okay, I can ski.
No,
I've skied.
I'm talking about on
Well,
the
he
slopes.
doesn't even like
Oh,
white women.
that. Oh, I'm not bringing the white.
I was about to say he doesn't even like
the
white
boy.
women.
I'm just talking about it.
I'm glad we were on the same list.
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
In general.
I
in
thought
general.
Bali was hot. Bali ain't cold.
No, Bali's hot.
Oh,
I'm just talking
so
about,
they there.
Yeah.
And stop doing that. I have dated white women before. It was in high school. She had a car.
Where at St. Monica?
Yeah, well, yeah, St. Monica. My boy, this is the power of your boys. My boy, I ain't gonna say his name because this story make him seem weird a little bit. He was dating. He was prolific in the snow. He was skiing.
Hatch?
No. I ain't know. That's Justin. He was
Rashad,
a
you know Hatch?
skier. Nah, nobody know him. He went to high school.
Nobody knows.
Yeah,
No, we're
no,
talking
he went to high school, played college ball, but that's
to my
it.
hat.
I'm talking about Hatch.
No, he was rich. He's one of my first rich friends. So I go to St. Monica. I go from all of this public school, hood school busing program to like St. Monica's, and he was scared to tell me where he lived. Like we used to hang and kick it all the time, and he didn't want to let me know where he lived. And finally, I was like, dog, where you live? And he's like, I live in the marina. So then I'm like, all right, well, I'll come by one time. And then finally, months later, I go by. And he lived in those, you ever been in a marina, especially like 20 years ago, 30 years ago? They had them 3-4 level elevator in it. He was rich like that. They were real estate, his family and all that. So I didn't know. So he was always trying to keep subdued. I mean, he was the bummiest dresser you ever would meet, but he had all that dough. So anyway, kicking it with him. And he like, man, I'll be hanging with this crew. You need to hang with them. I was like, yeah, where they at? And he's like, they go to different school. I was like, oh. Now, you know me, I don't like journeying and all this shit. So I was like, oh, they go to St. Mary's and all these other schools. I was like, all right. He was like, yeah, they white.
Not at St. Mary's.
No, well, yeah, they went to St. Mary's. Yeah, they did. There's a lot of sisters there too. Oh, I end up you fast forwarding the story. I end up flipping it. I was like, I gotta melt this snow and get some of that girl over there. But I end up dating a black girl from there. But so anyway, I get it. I'm like, dog, white girl for real? Because I was just like, this is the age where they clowning you. Like they walking up to you, oh, you like them white women, huh? And you right there holding her hand. I mean, it was racially weird out here, right? So I was like, I used to see them and people were staring at you, and I was like, dog, I can't date a white girl. I was like, ain't nothing against him. I'm just scared to get clowned like that. And he was like, man, stop it. And he kept talking, and then finally he said the key words. He was like, man, she got a car. I said, oh shit. I said, oh, I'm in love. That girl had a Blazer, and literally, I mean, it felt like the first date. She was like, you want to drive? I was like, yes. I don't have a license, but let's go. Pushing her Blazer. She was like, you got to drive it anytime you want.
Of course she had you drive her.
She sat in the back.
The back of the Blazer.
Pre-Uber.
Nah, she sat over here and no armrest. It was real. So I was like, whoa, I had a car. And I actually liked her. This is how it all ended, dog. I wasn't the only one liking her. And I wasn't the only one she liked. Man. She messed with somebody else and another one.
Team.
She was on the dream team, remember? Cream team.
Cream team.
All cream team. I was like, no, y'all messing with my girl. I was like, this car ain't worth it. Right. I was like, I was going to deal with racism, but I ain't dealing with this clown.
You know how he found out? She had him go pick up one of her other dudes in her car.
Bentley over here.
That's why she had that Blazer.
That Blazer.
That's why she had that Blazer. Let that seat down.
Yeah, that back seat. Oh, yeah. Every parking lot was a hotel. Every parking lot was a hotel.
Dark corner.
Oh, man, I hated that. She know who she is.
What was her name?
I can't do that.
He's trying to catch you slipping.
First name.
Heather.
First name,
I
right.
went to brunch
Heather.
with her maybe 10 years, 10 years.
Oh.
He went double back.
The thick plot.
Double. It wouldn't be in a double. It would have been a quintuplet. One of the double. Now,
He went to lunch.
She married all that.
Kid, are you my daddy?
That's why he won't say her name.
Nah, that man, come on. You used to call her Jawbone. Like, I mean, ain't nobody saying her name. She knows
Good
she
name.
is. Huh?
That's a good name.
That's a crazy name.
That is not her name or nickname. That is a movie reference.
Should have just went with it for camera purposes.
Jawbone.
All right, so that's my version of dating outside my race. You ever date, Eugene? You ever date outside your race?
Yeah. My first girlfriend, she was half Filipino, half black.
Oh, she fine. Yeah, tell us more.
He still won it.
More?
Eugene still won it. You saw he rubbed his chest and he was
No.
He said,
What you mean?
Too young to do anything. Innocent, nothing. No, too young to do anything.
Yeah, he started rubbing the nipple.
Too young to do
You
anything.
got a nipple in the middle? You got a middle nipple? She fine, huh? She was cute, huh?
She was.
I'm sure.
Why she like you and why you like her?
It was just a joke, actually. There was some other girl there's another girl that I should have been with.
Threesome? Let me hear it.
No, not a threesome. We're too
that
young
story
for that.
went.
But I think she was
weren't
trying to
too young.
clown me by getting this other girl to write me some notes and, hey, you interested? You want to hook up? And I said,
This sounds like
let's do it.
third
Let's-
grade.
I'm about to say, when y'all
You write notes.
Did your
this
wee
is
work?
young. This is high school. It's high school. It's high school.
It sound like your wee
high
didn't
school.
work. Like, this motherfucker-
No, this is high school.
childish ass
This
story.
is high school.
I'll stop asking you these questions. Sound like you
High
ain't had no
school, high
tingle yet. Did you have a tingle by that time? A little bit. Oh man!
Remember, I'm a God-fearing man.
Still?
No.
You don't care about God? I'm scared
I mean,
of God. I'm scared of
fear,
God. You
After his
opened up.
drug talk last week.
I know. Where's all the what's all the drug talk now? You scared of God? Yeah.
I met God that way.
That's what it was.
I know. I was scared too. I literally cleansed myself in college because I was so scared. I don't know what I went through, but I was always religified. I was always more, but I never professed it. Then in college, I don't know, one day I just woke up and was like, I'm about the Bible. I'm about literalism of the Bible, and anybody coming against me better be coming at me should go through the Bible. And boy, I sold all my CDs, my Doggy Style included. That was like one of my last sales. I sold every CD. I had a clearance sale of all the stuff that I thought was secular. And then I was just like, I was still me. I would hang and do all this, but I was like, nah, dog, I ain't drinking. Nah, dog, I ain't smoking. Nah, dog, I ain't kicking it with her. None of that. And then I got drafted. And then God
You did the
said,
same thing. You went extremes.
Then he sold the Bible.
Cut everything out, then go all in.
then I said, God, man, I don't want to lie to you.
So let me ask you a question. Did you do all of that thinking you were incurring favor with a God and that's how you were going to get drafted and live out your dream? Did you think that was what was going to incur you favor?
Yes and no. Yes, favor, but no drafted. I didn't do it so, God, like, please let me get drafted. I did it like, God, let me make the most of this experience. I'm at school. I'm about to graduate. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do in this world. The NFL ain't calling me. And I don't know what I want to do in the real world. I came in here to be an aerospace engineer. That ain't going to work. That first math class went whoosh. So I was like, no, I'm done.
Imagine your big ass in a rocket ship.
I was going to design it. It was going to be mine. But no, so I was like, really, I was terrified of the real world, the options, and what was I going to do? Because all my boys are going to Wall Street. I was like, I'm not doing that shit. That shit looked boring. It looked crazy. And then I was like, I don't want to be an actor. I don't want to be no entertainer. I want to be a school teacher. And I'm like, I can do that without even really being here / trying. You know, your homegirl, she did hair and then said, fuck it, I'm going to be a school teacher. You know what I mean? So I was like, man, I just want to make the most of this. My family wants it, needs me. So then I was like, man, you better lock in. So the only thing I knew that I could focus in on was being religified. Like everything else was just temporal. Like I could be like, I ain't going to hang out. But if it was on my own will, I'll hang out the next day. You know what I mean? But then I went back to God for that. And then stuff, I mean, it worked. The favor came. It came, boy. And then I was like, I can't keep this up for life. I was like, I'm 21 or something. And I felt like a little bit, not hypocritical, because in the moment I sold everything, I was really into it. And the moment I bought everything back, I was really into it. And I was like, y'all gonna rock with me regardless. I started reading the Bible a little different, too.
He said that Kurt Franklin didn't sound good in the trunk like that doggy style. That Kurt Franklin and Donnie McKirkland.
That bass line was different.
415s, jaw,
Stomp.
It was wild, man. Dog, I loved it too. Like walking around the people, you felt stronger. Like you feel empowered. Like you didn't come to the vices, succumb to all the ills and the temptations. Like you just walking around and you hanging, not like distant. Like, oh no, I'm hanging. And then it's like, all right, I'm going home. And they like, what? You ain't trying to get it? Especially when it started to really pick up and I started getting like popular and people like, whoa, he's still locked in. I was like, yeah, I'm locked in. I was gonna get married to this girl, but she dissed me. And then I got drafted and then she tried to get back with me.
She tried to
and
come back?
I tried to get it. I wanted her back.
Oh, wow.
Really?
No, I wanted her back. But then
been a
we were
sign to
too
walk.
different, too fast. Dog, when you get drafted, I don't know. That world different, dog. Like you meet some dudes, you meet some heroes and some legends, and then you realize, oh, you meet some dudes. And you hanging. Nah, you hear how they really living. And you're like, what? That's what you do between practice? Yeah, dog, it's nothing. You bought what? Like, dog, them dudes. I saw this dude. All right, Ted Washington, I got to tell the story. He gave me a ride. Ted Washington, first dude I saw with a Hummer. Huge Hummer. Like,
You said James?
no, Ted.
Ted,
Mount
oh.
Washington, they call him.
Oh, yeah,
Probably
yeah.
6'7", 360, something gigantic. His fingers were fat. He had big fingers. Everything on him was just huge.
Go ahead. Good say you.
Fix that, huh? I mean, everything. So, big
All
dog.
right, Tyler.
Oh, see that? Oh, I see. All right, Reggie. You're gonna get a defamation case, motherfucker. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Long story short, dog, I needed a ride to practice one day. I lived right by him, right by the facility. And he was a vet, so I was kind of scared to ask. And then he was like, Wiley, you need a ride? I was like, yeah. He's like, all right, I'll pick you up. I jumped in his Hummer. And at first I'm like, damn, this is dope. Y'all been inside a Hummer before? It's itty bitty seat, but then they got all this like, I don't know what the hell it is, like a big old cargo thing. And then he way over there and you just like, damn, dog, this is dope. So I was like, I'm like, this dude rich. Like he been in the league for like 10 years. He had paper. So then his car was a mess though. So I was like, damn, Ted, like clean your shit up if you gonna pick me up. I'm clowning. He like, man, just shut up. So then I grabbed these envelopes, and we used to get paid by checks back then, right? So it had a Buffalo Bills helmet on it. And I said, oh, man, these are your checks. These are game checks. He said, put them in the glove compartment. I said, I was like, all right. I was looking. I was like, these ain't game checks. I said, what are these? Then now I'm feeling bad. I'm like, he getting something I ain't getting. Like, I ain't never seen these checks. He said, that's my off-season bonuses. And one of them was $500,000. And then the other one was $400,000. And they were uncashed. I was like, Ted, they were next to McDonald's wrappers on the floor, just chilling on the floor. I said, dog, I was like, dog, why you ain't cash your checks? He's like, oh, man, I'll get to it later. I'll spend it. I ain't gonna never be broke. You see them checks? And in that moment, I'm not lying. Of all moments early on, I was like, boy, you better lock in. There's something here, dog. This motherfucker got $900,000 sitting on the seat, sitting on the floor. And didn't even trip on it. And then you just start seeing all that kind of crazy stuff. You ever have some stories like that?
Bro, yeah, I've seen checks come in the locker room. The first check, the biggest check I ever seen was $10 million.
Oh, yeah.
Not for me, I wish. But it was another player. I was like, dang. This was when I'm a rookie, too. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, listen, the NFL, from where I'm from a little small town, Forest, Virginia. Like, it's self-explanatory. And so put me in Jacksonville. I'm in the NFL. I see David Garage checks. I'm like, bro, the NFL, I don't know about you, but the NFL trash can is not a normal trash can. Like, you legit find some really nice stuff in the NFL trash can. I promise you. You be seeing brand shoes that was only been worn once or twice. It's like, yo, man, these people got money. They don't care about anything. They checks, spending, food, don't nobody care. You just, hey, yeah, get some. Yeah, get whatever you want. Get whatever you want. And I'm like, man. He was like, yeah, don't worry. You'll get your chance.
You'll get your chance.
And they told you that one too?
Yep.
You'll get your chance.
And then you start making more than them, some of them.
Yeah.
That's how the game goes.
It's crazy the amount of money that come through. And it's humbling that the opportunity's in front of you. You know, it's not promised, but you're around these guys that are making this money. And the crazy thing is when you start seeing your work ethic, your skill set are better than some of these guys. They making way more money than you. It's like, I want to stay focused. Mm-hmm. Stay focused. It's coming. Stay focused.
Yeah. I heard something about Travis Hunter yesterday. He signed his deal, and he got all of his signing bonus in one lump sum, which was like 34-point-something million.
That's crazy.
So they handed him a check or a wire or whatever for $34 million.
That's
respect.
Imagine that.
See that house?
Somebody saying here.
You see the house he just bought? It's like the most expensive house in that community. Like, it's set all around. I think he spent like $12 million on it, something like that.
Bro, I wish.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, I wish somebody would have put me game on real estate when I was a rookie. That would have been the first thing I did down there in Jacksonville, was bought a house. But I didn't know any better.
But did they give you those resources when you were playing? I thought in today's era, you're given that advisor, someone to help you manage the funds. Don't set yourself for the future, for life.
It says that, but like, you're really on your own. I mean, they vet a couple financial guys along the way. They vet some agents, right? But at the end of the day, you subject to your own education and knowledge. You know, so anybody could sell you when you don't know
right
anything. So somebody can simply come up to you and say, hey, man, I'm a financial advisor, blah, 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 sell you a couple guys that they work with. You don't even know if it's true or not. You start listening, it sounds good. And then your boys say, yeah, I work with them too. And then your other boy, yeah, they good. But your boys don't even know how to vet them, right? So now you caught up with this person, trusting them. You put your money with them. A few years later, when you try to go get your money, that's how a lot of financial advisors get players, because you put the money away. We don't count it. We don't need it. We don't check for it. We come back 5 years later. Hey, yo, I know I got $1 million with you. Oh, yeah, so what happened.
Right.
He signed, the investment fell through.
Oh,
you know, you got to count it as tax write-off. You know, you can write blah, 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 blah. And it's like, that's how players get gotten a lot of times. So
Bernie Madoff style.
Yeah, you know who gets you more than all? I've heard jewelry before and living a life and partying all your money away. I've heard financial advisor. I swear the number one predator of any professional athlete has to be their own family. Like if you think about it, and it's not even like them asking you, is your heart's too big and your brain's too small for when you get all this money. So when you get all that money, you 24, 27, and this is our era. It's a lot smarter now in this era because of all the war stories in part. But what do we all hear when we hear about somebody getting drafted? First thing they say, I'm going to buy my mama a house.
that's it.
And then it goes from there. And then, look, half the time mama and daddy ain't together no more. And if they are, okay, that's cool. But now, what about your sister? What about your brother? See, they cut the cameras off, but you still buying houses, right? Yeah. And then you need yours. And then you up here, you got mama and daddy as close as you can to you and your sisters. Then you look up, Uncle Sam wants his, that's half. Then you look around and you got some boys, you got some girls you like, you got some investments. And then you look up and you think you balling, and then that Achilles goes, or just whatever path you were imagining is different than the reality. Man, that's the toughest part. The toughest part is like, damn, family. And then you got to look at it like, how many of your family members can you really support? Because once you start, boy, you better not stop. They gonna hate your ass. Like, no other way. You seen that before?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna ask you how many houses did you have to buy?
Who? Me?
Big money.
I gave one. My dad.
I know you bought something.
My mom, my dad. I helped with the rest. I would say help with the rest. My sister moved into my mom's old one when she passed. Yeah, like 2. How many girls I bought? They count too?
What you spend on them girls, you probably bought a couple of houses anyway.
Oh, man. I had some tricky moments.
Especially with all them engagement rings.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. I was a trick, whatever you want to call that. I gave it.
That's what you call it.
Yeah, I called it a trick.
You right.
Yeah, well, they were my girlfriends or stuff. Yeah, I gave them money. I was like, here you go. One girl wasn't my girlfriend. This is when I stopped doing it. She either played the game the best or I just sucker for love ass trick. I gave that girl $50,000 because she needed it for her tuition. And I was dating her, and I was like,
Nice. That was nice.
But you
it was dumb. It was dumb. What you say?
Oh, you said y'all weren't together.
No, we weren't. Like, well, I don't know what you call it. Like, we were just talking, and she was super quiet, super nice. She was from Atlanta. I should have said strike 1 and 3.
There it is. That's
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Right, there it is.
Wrong.
Nah, but she was really angelic. Nah, she was like, my tuition now on this. It felt, I don't know if it's guilt, but it felt weird. Somebody you like, somebody you rocking with, and they ask you, oh, just can I have that, what's in your pocket right now? And you know you got more, and you just like, because I feel like she's struggling. Like, she talking about, I'm going to go work this job and do this. And I'm like, why don't you just help this girl out? And I was like, are you kidding me? Hell no, you're giving this girl $50K.
Did she graduate?
You a good one.
I don't know.
Oh, boy.
You a good one.
She's still at Magic City.
Yes, she is.
Coming to the stage, Marcellus' best investment.
Lemon and pepper.
Oh my God.
Well done.
Yes. Extra wet.
I know she's somewhere telling.
That's crazy.
She's somewhere telling that story way different. She like, girl, I saw this dude Marcellus when he signed. I was like, I'm getting his ass.
Right. She took the money, invested it. Now she's rich.
Yeah.
If she's smart, she would have did that.
You fell for the story.
I always fall for the story. That's why I don't go to
You a
strip
good
clubs.
one, man. Somebody tell me a good
come up
story.
with a
The author
story.
of me come out. I just say, man, I'm gonna write about that. That's a great story. That's motivating.
That same facial expression.
Yeah. Wow, that's impressive.
All
man.
right, going around the room. Let me hear some tricking stories. I ain't the only one. They say 1 and 2 men are tricks. And there's
two.
4, 6. So there's 3. There's 2 other tricks in here. You have never just.
Nah, I never tricked. That was not my. It's not my thing.
What does trick mean to you? You have never
what
given
you
a
did.
girl money?
I mean, giving
Oh,
somebody money ain't
that-
tricking. If it was for a purpose, if it's my girl or something, but just random chicks just giving them
She
a
wasn't
bunch of
random.
money.
She was damn near my girl. I could have made her my girl. I didn't want to.
Dinner's fine, right? You can get dinner,
that's not-
dinner,
yeah.
flying somebody, stuff like that,
Flying
right?
them for a purpose.
No, you better.
For a
We ain't doing no
purpose.
flying. No, we ain't.
Flying for-
Rico.
That's why I said flying for a purpose. Oh yeah.
Hey.
But if it's your girl, it's not.
I don't know, dog. All these cases got this cross state line, and you guys had sex. I was like, what do you think Spirit Airlines is doing? What is Southwest doing? Like, who? What? That's illegal to hang out. Like, if it's your girlfriend, like flying. Oh, you better not. She better not ever say something. That's
They
weird.
use that when they want to use that.
Exactly.
Well, plus there's a difference between flying somebody out and having sex with them and flying them out to hire them to have sex. That's a big-
tomato,
It's
tomato.
tricky in court because that's.
I mean, you know,
If you're flying them
Here-
out with
here's
the
an
intent
envelope
to
of
have
money.
sex, you don't even have to give them money. If you flew them out to do that, they can still say
no, that's different.
that's what they're doing with Diddy.
No. He flew out people he was paying.
Some of them he was
Which
paying.
case we talking about? Did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Some of you talking about like the escorts.
Yeah.
But then there's women that were getting flown out to just get knocked down, and that's also being used against them.
I don't think that's part of the case though.
I mean, that's what they say.
Oh yeah.
I think it's-
sex
I think it's-
trafficking is defined as that, like people crossing state lines for some sex.
In a transactional manner.
I
Paying
think
for the flight is the transaction.
the umbrella is that's what we're saying. The umbrella is, yo, I just put on a flight, and you can say, oh, whatever, and you're saying, no, this is a worker. No, non-workers, just hey, fine girl, fly here. Jets versus Falcons. I'm playing in Atlanta. Meet me down there. We mess around. That could turn into something. That could turn into sex trafficking. Is that?
Because you're paying for
I
them
don't
to
think
come
so.
there.
Well, you
for
call your
that-
daddy then.
For that
Damn it.
purpose.
Can get Puffy off.
That would be a long distance call.
long distance. Hey,
He's
yeah.
gone.
Y'all pumped? Y'all see my boy Max is back? Y'all see Max Kellerman is back?
No.
I saw something.
Y'all didn't see that?
I saw something about it. but
What's
it
he
was like
back
a-
with? What's
Oh, Max Kellerman is back. He's it's funny. All right, I'm trying to hold it since
these
y'all
are
don't
the
know.
things you
The
couldn't
fact
tell
that
us
you haven't
about.
had Max here yet is crazy.
I couldn't. He didn't like. He had to
that's-
let this come out first.
Gotcha. Okay, that's different.
And there's one more coming out. Then we're gonna start talking some real talk. This thing is so crazy. I thought the world would put it together. That's why I'm like, LeBron, don't chase GOAT status. This world ain't that smart, even though it is smart. It won't always see it. So earlier this year, y'all remember Terrence Crawford? They were talking about him fighting Canelo. Then that kind of went away. Jake Paul was like, nah, I want some of Canelo. Canelo like, shit, I want some of that money because Jake Paul is it. And they were about to fight. Then they didn't. And then all of a sudden, Dana White, Nick Khan, our former agent, TKO Promotions, they're like, we got Terrence Crawford fighting Canelo Alvarez. I was like, that's gigantic. And I butcher his name. Turk Al-Sheikh, I think is his name. He's the guy who went to the fight down at the LA soccer stadium a year or two ago. Who went? I did. Did y'all go?
I watched it.
It was a spectacle, right?
Yeah.
That's when they paid Eminem $10 million, they said, for 5 songs. And I couldn't believe when I went, I was like, I don't even care if they fight. This is insane. Like, this is a concert. It's a huge spectacle. The money from over there, Saudi money. Yeah. So then they are all partners. Dana White, Nick Khan, my former agent, and Max's agent, Michelle Beadle, everybody. He ran the industry. He runs WWE. He's the head of WWE. Him, the Sheik, and Dana White got a promotions company. And I knew when they all came together in their first fight is Terrence Crawford and Canelo. You know how much they paying them, first of all? Got to be silly. And I was like, when the news hit, I hit Max. I said, you mother sucker. Because we've been playing. He was like, I can't tell you. He's like, I can't tell you, but you're going to figure it out. And I said, you mother sucker. He said, dog, this shit big. And I was like, oh. So then that was like in March or whatever, way back. He couldn't say anything. And I was like, this is wild. So I started dropping breadcrumbs because I always protect the guilty, but I can't keep it secret either. So I'm like, y'all going to figure this shit out, somebody. No one figured it out until yesterday he finally dropped. Dana White brought him out for a press conference with Terrence Crawford and Canelo. And then everybody's like, what? Max is back? So, yeah, it's been like 2 years, He got his money from ESPN, had to let that run out, and was building towards this.
So he wasn't allowed to, I mean, you may not be able to speak on it, but he wasn't allowed to do boxing while he was off ESPN because he was doing boxing before he got to ESPN.
You know I can't keep a secret, right? So let me tell you. I don't know that answer for sure because that sounds a little specific. Like, there's non-competes, obviously. So that I know you have that where you can't be doing jack, right? Anywhere you leave like that, they're like, no, you can chill out for a minute. But then non-competes, sports general, or is it just debate shows, or is it boxing? I'm not sure. But I will say this, knowing Max was not just about to jump into anything anyway. One, if he getting paid to just chill and be with his family, he gonna take the chilling family. That boy, you think I'm private, you think I stay still. That sucker there, he is crazy. And then two, the fact that you're getting paid to play around with the fam bam and plot your next. He's very particular. Like, I'm not just going to do anything or do it. It has to be it. And I was like, damn, a Dana White, Nick Khan, CHICk, CHICk production is it in boxing. When they blew up HBO when he was working there before with Jim Lampley. So Jim Lampley's on the broadcast as well. They blew up that. And remember Roy Jones? They had that thing locked in. And then Showtime took it, and I think that went away. So now there's a huge lane because the CHICk is a huge boxing fan. And he like, on nothing but the best. Dana White has promised nothing but the best fighters. We're doing a UFC style, which is if you number one, you don't want to fight number two, all right. I don't ever want to see you fight. You ain't fighting again, right? Because boxing got messed up and muddied because they got too many belts. And then we were like, yo, he the best. Fight the best.
Facts.
And too many people got worried about losing. Because
Yeah.
Floyd started that. Where before the best fighters would fight each other, whether you win or lose, they would just keep going. But once Floyd started putting all the highlight on the 50-0, the best fighters didn't want to fight each other no more because nobody wanted to have that flow in their record.
Yep. NBA ring culture, boxing is undefeated.
So let's say it's the same thing. Same thing.
I feel a little pushback. I think we might get into one. I don't think Floyd started that. I think Floyd captured it, capitalized the most on it, yeah. Dog, Floyd, dog, that's a story. What was you about to say? You about to go something? The Floyd, dog, I did this panel with him in like late 90s maybe, and he was Pretty Boy Floyd. And it was Layla Ali, homie, Floyd Mayweather, and me. And the only reason I'm up there is because I knew the guy who was doing it all, promoting it all. So he just threw me in there. I was like, I don't qualify for this stage, motherfucker. But this is Pretty Boy. And he came in there, glasses on, 9,000 chains on, and was just like, you know, just like Pretty Boy. And I remember after the panel and stuff talking to him, and this is before I really got to know him, and I was like, I didn't know how to say it kind of. I was like, you sure are acting like a typical. I was like, is this working? Like, you know what I mean? And he's like, yeah. I said, you really ride around like this? Like I was clowning, but I was like, God dang, dog, like, where you going? Like, and then he on the panel with everybody else, you know, and it's like he really wanted to be a star, you could tell. And the beautiful thing is he figured out how to do it the best way, which was go at Oscar and turn heel.
That's when he became Money Mayweather.
And that's when he became Money
After that,
Mayweather.
Money May.
And I was like, damn, I saw Money May 6-8 years before, and he just didn't know the play. Mm-hmm. But then when he wore that sombrero and then he like trolled the Mexican love for Oscar, who was Golden Boy. Mm-hmm. And it was like, nah, I'm not Pretty Boy, I'm Money May. And boy, from then on, he just owned the spirit. And he told me, he said, there's two ways it goes. Either they love me or they love to hate me. Either way, they watching me fight. And dog, that's why he kind of like, he didn't dodge anybody if you really look at his record, because he's fought more champions than all these cats. It's just, I'll give you this one. Canelo. He saw Canelo coming up in the ranks. He's like,
let me get him now.
Yep.
There's going to be a moment where that's going to be a hard get.
I was there. I went to that fight.
I went to that fight too. Mm-hmm. That was sick. Because I thought Canelo had shot, but his IQ wasn't there yet.
You could see Canelo was just way too slow.
Yeah.
You could see that
too.
instantly. He couldn't hit him.
Yeah.
He couldn't hit him. At least when he fought Mosley, I was at that fight. Mosley hit him in the first round and almost knocked him down.
That was his
And I
biggest
don't think
stumble.
that was a slow thing. I think that was an IQ thing.
It was an IQ thing.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
Floyd
he
was
He
just
was setting traps.
He was setting him up. So he saw everything about to happen before it happened.
Yeah.
Just because he knew.
Yeah.
He's known
And
the
he was
game.
slower.
He grew a whole lot after that fight. Like after that, he became who he is now.
Yeah, he went to school with a
Canelo.
chess master, Canelo.
You ever
Yeah,
seen the fight where he fought?
He won't fight Benavidez.
What's
so.
dude's name?
that part. 'Cause to his point, dog, you lose so much money.
Arturo Gotti. Did you ever see the fight with Floyd when he fought Arturo Gotti? That might be one of the worst whoopings I've ever seen in my life. Like he destroyed him. And
Yeah.
Arturo Gotti was a beast.
Yeah,
He couldn't even touch him.
he got
Like, I
everybody.
think he like almost he retired shortly after that because
He
he
did.
beat him so bad.
Yeah, that's sick. Like I don't have like deep boxing knowledge. I got big boxing fight, pay-per-view fight knowledge. But I remember when Floyd told me how he hit Pacquiao, and he was like, I knew Pacquiao didn't want it. As soon as I hit him right here, he said, I always straight right to the diaphragm, and I listen. I was like, listen for what? He said, that wheeze I'm going to hear, going to tell me if you want it or not. He's like, he hit Pacquiao there, and he's like, oh my God. And I wonder, like, because everybody seen Floyd's punch, that little whatever that is. And I was like, oh, he's like, that's my check. That's the meter.
IQ right there.
Yeah, that is. Because, boy, this thing,
Solar plexus.
oh, is that what they call it? I thought it was different. What's solar? about
Solar
it?
plexus. That's the name
That's
of
the
it.
name of it?
Yeah.
That's death.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the closest thing you get to death. You ever get hurt there?
It'll
or
take
hit there?
everything out of you.
Oh, use.
You can't really
Everything.
protect it. There's nothing that you can do to like.
Because it's in between your two
Yeah.
rib cages.
Oh.
MG doesn't know that. Master Kim hasn't taught him. Aim for the solar plexus.
Oh, we don't do sparring.
Oh, you don't.
No, I don't spar. I never sparred. I used to go to Manny Pacquiao gym with Freddie Roach, wild card. I was like, they used to beg me, dog. One time I was like, never. You ain't hitting this face. I've been hit enough. And then my kids, hell no. He's done a little bit of like, they do, they put the gear on and they act like it. He did it like once. I don't like combat. But it sounds like little Nate Dogg does, right?
Yeah, I actually trained with Canelo's trainer way back in New York for a little bit, boxing. And it's like, nope, can't talk. Losing brain cells, I feel dumb. You take a couple of hits to the head and
Yeah, that's why I
You
never.
lose it.
Yeah, I don't spar and do nothing because I'm like, dog, all that shit count. Cats be in there, come on. I'm like, nah, I'm gone. Like, what the fuck is you doing? Like, tell me, oh, it didn't hurt that bad. I had a pad on. Like, nah, that hurt. Yeah. And then okay, so then it was a triple OG in there, like triple OG on our crew. He said, all right, let's slap box then. At least give me that. I said, all right, I'll slap box with you. I got quick hands. He was tapping me, dog. I was like, he was like, that would have been a real punch. I said, I know. I was like, I'm not fighting for real. Fuck. I was like, no, these dudes, they just be doing back. He's like, where'd that come from? That's what they do.
Still be
That's when you find out it's all
That
timing.
boy out there fighting. You ain't out there like Adrian Peterson, though, are you?
Oh, we gotta talk about that.
Oh, AP. Fighting at the casino.
He
playing
did y'all
poker.
running backs bad right
Bro,
there.
man, come on. I you know what?
Chad too.
That guy, whoever that guy is,
Yeah.
he's the man at his job right now, though.
Oh, beyond.
He's the man at wherever he is.
yeah.
That's the highlight of his life right now. But man, what was he gambling?
They were poker.
They were playing poker.
But when you playing poker and the dude you talking to jumps up, don't jump up with him. Because
AP got knocked out or something? Did I
no,
miss it?
he ain't get
Nah,
knocked
he got
out.
knocked.
He just didn't throw hands like you expect.
Yeah, that's
and
all.
he didn't win at all.
Right.
He lost that on the
Remember Chad
cards.
got knocked out.
Who?
Chad. Ocho Cinco.
Oh, but that's
But
a
he
real
actually
fight.
fought good though.
That
He
was a
actually-
real fight.
Yeah.
No, we talking about, no, they just play, like me and you right now playing poker. Man, shut up. You like, don't throw the flag on me. He stood
AP?
up with a regular dude. But when the regular dude stood up, I mean, if you got any spidey sense, he stood up with that stance is taught.
I did this. I do this.
Yeah.
Huh?
I never saw that.
Oh, yeah. And then
was last
Adrian
week.
start.
Oh, last week.
He went around. He did one of these. They were like waiting for each other to punch. Trade us like here. You punch, then you punch
Counter,
me back.
yeah.
And it was like, bro, what? Did you see him fight Le'Veon though?
That's what I was gonna say. That's,
Le'Veon Bell
that's what I
fight.
thought y'all was talking about at first.
Oh no.
because he did an actual boxing match.
He actually boxed. He actually boxed Le'Veon. Le'Veon.
Yeah,
called
AP
him.
looked like he had never had a fight in his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that looks like.
Yeah. Or every fight I've had 3. They never go like you think. They don't come as advertised. So I think most people, everybody I've seen that fights, let's say 90%, they all the same. What's up? It's this. And I'm like, I'm not fighting nobody because that ain't going, I actually know that you're gonna do that, so I'm gonna go like this. But 2, what if that hits me? You're asleep, dog. Like that. When that happened, you night. And that's too risky for me. Like,
Dr. Chin.
yeah, and that's everybody doing. They just trying to roundhouse your chin. I literally would not fight, but if I did, I would go. Soon as he looked at me, he's like, "What's up?" I would not speak.
Quick jab.
I'm going right here.
Yeah, quick jab.
The quick, like that warm ups,
Nah.
like all this, like nah, you ain't getting to that.
The real
Nah.
trick is to try to hit somebody in the throat. That's if you hit somebody in the throat, that's it. They can't.
And
do
the
nothing.
nose.
No.
Yeah, nose go up. If you hit somebody in the throat, it cuts off their ear.
You're actually not
There's nothing you can do at that point.
You're not supposed to close your fist either. You'll break your
No,
hands.
if you chop somebody in the throat,
He gonna whoop
that's
your
it.
ass. He just told you how. Look at Eugene. Eugene could beat you up. I think. I got money on Gene. He just told you open your
been beat
hands,
up yet,
boy.
so we'll
He
see.
said open your hands, boy. You hear him? You got your fists closed. He don't know how to fight, do he, Gene?
Well, we can find out.
I told you he black.
I think I told you my father was a boxer.
That don't mean you are.
I'm saying I grew up. I grew up under that. Like I'm.
Yeah,
from young,
under,
I was
way
doing it.
under. Below.
That's dope, though.
Way down there.
My hands are.
What are they?
That's dope.
What are they?
I ain't never been beat up ever.
How many
And I say
fights?
that I had a lot.
How many?
He said he had a lot, man.
I mean,
what you
growing up-
doing?
I know. Misfit.
I was in
Troublemaker.
High school. Yeah.
How many?
Was you starting them?
Like 10,
Nah,
20?
I never started that.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really get in any until probably junior high school. I got one in junior high school, and then high school I got a lot.
Was ever any over a girl?
No, I never fought no girl. You know, actually, there
I
was
was about
one.
to say,
But it
what you
wasn't
fighting
me
for?
fighting over the girl. He was mad
Okay.
over the girl liking me. So
Oh yeah.
then
I've been there.
for him.
Seen that one.
I'm 2-1. I got a blemish, so I can't beat Floyd. I'm 2-1. I got beat up. All right, first fight, I think 3rd grade. That was easy. Second fight, I lost, and then the 3rd fight I won in 11th grade. Let me tell you one I lost. This dude was my boy. Like, cool, real cool. He was really tight with my best friend, so we're like combo homies. But he ain't my boy like that, but he cool because he always around my best friend. I'm always around my best friend. We playing basketball, and I threw a basketball. What was it, 94 feet? I threw it 94, trying to make it to the other rim, and missed. Hit him in the head. Okay, now I remember when the lights, it went doo-doo, like the whole skyline changed, and I saw him turn, look at me like, and I'm like, in my mind, I said, this is only going 2 places. 1, he gonna laugh it off because he my boy, or 2, he really pissed. And I read him, and he started charging towards me. Now, I was the fastest in the school. It's not even close. He was a very close second to anybody else, right? Like, he's very fast. But I saw him coming, and I was like, oh, damn, he really, all right, let me run. So I ran, and I'm running, and I'm talking. Like, I'm so fast that I'm running and talking like, dog, I was just playing. Oh, dog, stop playing. Oh, man, dog, you're never going to catch me. And I was like, whatever, it was an accident. I'm doing all this, and he's a raging bull behind me, right?
Yeah.
We run through the whole school. So I think at a certain point, everybody was like, oh, this is going to be a fight. Because he running, and he laughing, but he ain't laughing, right? We get, like, towards the front, and finally, either I got tired or I was just like, I got to find out this dude really won't smoke. And I turned around and I said, Brian, I was, bow. He called, as soon as I said, Brian, I was just, wow. My nose went inside my face. He hit the shit out of me. Next thing I remember.
Called your sister.
No. Boy, I wanted him to survive. You call Henny Loke, it's a problem. The next thing I remember is my girlfriend at the time, Davita Adams, and she had on like her white Guess jeans she used to wear 3 times a week, and they had blood stains on them because I was leaking. And she, forget this. Now the whole school seeing me. You lose that fight, right? I don't know. I think I threw some punches after that, but you lose that. Whoever got blood lost, right? And then she looking at me, her look in her eyes.
Disgust.
Like this.
Can't believe this, man.
My man.
Can't believe I ever liked you.
He said, and that's when I went to the white girl.
Shooting with skin.
Another one, boy.
I had no more black girl credit.
Dog. And
Start
then
skiing.
I had to go to the doctor. They said you could go back to school in like a couple of days or whatever it is.
Oh, and you had to miss school for a
I
couple
missed
days.
school. Boy,
Really took
wait.
that L. That's the real L.
Wait, I didn't go back to school for 2 weeks because after I was like good enough to go, I just couldn't go. I was so shook. I was like, everybody gonna clown. And when I got back, they didn't clown like that because they really felt bad. They were like, yo, he fucked
They were like, you really got your ass whooped.
You got your ass whooped.
Are y'all still cool? You
Oh yeah, his son went to Crespi. Brian Bimbo is his name. His sons kids went to Crespi. I see him all the time. And the craziest thing is, we always clown. I was like a little bigger than him then. Now I'm this, and he's still kind of close to his same size. So I would have whooped his ass if I had my growth spurt on. Not even close, dog. So I've taken an L, and I just think every time I see somebody out arguing about the fight, I'm like, y'all better think about taking that L too, because everybody always jump up like they're going to win. I seen some L's out there.
The closest I got to an L is somebody snuck me one time. Like I had turned, and so it was a fight, and I already feel like I had won. So I'm turning to the side, and like somebody was pulling me, but I felt it. Like I'm like, I just knew he was gonna try to get me. So as I'm turning to the side, and he just swung and caught me on the side. I think I still got the scars on one of these eyes.
So you already had fought that same guy?
I already fought him. I already beat him. So I'm like, they were breaking it up because
Oh,
I
yeah,
already
yeah,
beat him.
yeah,
So
that's
they're
tough.
like pulling me away, and as I'm going this way, I just felt like, I don't know, it's like the aura, something's in
Take
the
this with
air.
you.
Like I just felt
Take this.
like somebody's literally as soon as I turned, I just saw that hand, and it just got me.
Damn, your daddy's son took a L. Look at this. Hold on, was your daddy good?
No, I was gonna say I was the closest to an L, but it wasn't L. I had already won.
Blaze, you ain't never lost in your life. This motherfucker, every fight ends beautifulely. Like, you give me some L's. Can you give me one L? I never lost. I never gave a girl money. I never tricked. I never
I'm sorry I didn't experience losing like you.
No.
My life is different.
You will if you keep talking about it. We can change that real quick.
I've taken losses. We just haven't talked about them.
Oh, no. All right, which losses?
I mean, stuff I wasn't probably good at.
Arguments like Nas.
that I ain't lose.
Arguments like Nas.
That I don't lose.
Nas and Jim Jones, shall we?
We can.
Oh, we
do
are.
it.
I'm going to the bathroom right now. We had an argument, and I tapped out. I am proud of myself. I'd stop arguing.
And I cooked him in that.
No,
when I
you-
posted
no,
the stats,
we don't have it right now.
When I posted the
Okay, I
stats
gotta
of
go
stuff, he disappeared. He never responded.
What y'all talking about? Best rappers?
No, I never said Nas was a better rapper than Jim Jones. When the argument we was having, I said he has more influence. And if you look at all these young kids now, artists now, they have followed his trend more. Nobody's trying to be like Nas. I'm not taking it away from him music-wise. I'm from Queens, so of course I like Nas. But Jim Jones has more influence. So when I said that to him, he's like, oh, Jim Jones he's never influenced anybody. So I started naming people like Wayne, Kanye, all of this. He says that's not true. Now, he loves to chat GPT everything. So you type in on chat GPT, who has Jim Jones influence? The first names that pop up is Lil Wayne, Kanye, and all these other people who have openly admitted it. That was my whole argument. It was about influence.
Once again, your whole argument is not the argument we were having.
That was the argument I was having.
But that's
Y'all was trying
but
to change it to
aren't you the
something
one that
else.
sent this? All right, let's build
No,
this up.
he was.
Okay, so
Richie
you
was.
sent that Jim Jones was on what's it, Jada and Joe, or Joe and Jada, their podcast, and we saw the video. Right. And Jim Jones was like, yo, y'all kind of sweet with my name, like not respecting me as a rapper. Check my Billboard. Like, my Billboard is better than most of these rappers. And then they were talking about Nas, and he was like, yo, my Billboard is better than Nas. Like, check. Like, whoa. And then the rapper fan in me kind of was like, I know what he's trying to say, because Nas' best album is his first one. But then a lot of people say Nas fell off after that, or certainly wasn't the same as the first one. Right. So I'm like, wow, but Billboard's objective. Like, this ain't no arguments. This is like, you got more hits than Nas? So immediately we going back and forth on it. And I was like, there's no way. I watched the video, and then I Googled, and I was like, he ain't got more hits than Nas? So I was like, what is this? So then they were going back and forth. We all are. And then finally, I was like, all right, this conversation is moving. It's going from what he said to what you want to argue, which was influence or impact or kids rock with him, which doesn't matter to me because that's never a full answer. But I know what a full answer is. Nas had 3 #1 albums. You had none. And I love Jim Jones. Don't do this. I love Jim Jones. But you can't say that. And I'm like, how did he go on the podcast? And Joe, Fat Joe was kind of like, dog, we ain't doing this. We can't do this. And even Jada was like, come on, man. But why? All right, let's start there before we get into what you said. Why did he go in there and say that?
So
he doesn't have him beat.
And he
There's
doubled
so many
down
le-
with Shay, with Shannon. He doubled down with Shannon and
His discography is not Nas's.
There's so many layers to that because I don't know if y'all remember, they used to have beef with each other.
Okay.
Jim Jones and Nas. So I think when that came up, it was more of like a trigger. But I also understand why he's saying. I didn't agree to the point where when you said you feel like he thinks he's bigger than Nas or had more hits than Nas or whatever like that. I didn't agree to that point. I agree.
But that's his whole point.
No,
Why
but in that same video, he also said, I'm more influential. Like, he's like, these young kids don't listen. So I was referring to that part, not the music part.
Okay, so we can move past that. We both agree on that part.
What he did with Shannon, though, he's saying everybody that's talking about Nas, everything they do is they talk about 20 years ago. Y'all talking about Nas from back then. He's like, in today's day, I'm more relevant. My music, my music is going further than his. My songs are bigger than his. I'm a better rapper than him today.
Is that even true? Because Nas came out with all them albums with.
Yeah, he's put out a few albums in the last
What's this
4
dude,
years.
the producer, the big producer he put him out with? Whoever it is, help us out in the chat. That big producer, all those things, one of them went #1, I think.
So it's debatable.
Was it Alchemist?
Alchemist? Is it Alchemist?
No, it was somebody else, like one of them. God.
Hit Boy.
Yeah, I would say in the past 5 years.
Come on.
The music he's put out in the past 5 years, majority of it has charted higher than anything Nas has put out in the past 5 years. So I understand why he's saying that. Do I think he's better than Nas? No. But he's talking about specifically about today. And everybody else is talking about Nas's whole career. So it's never going to be a fair argument.
Well, it's not fair, and you only carved it up to give yourself an advantage because you start off saying something that is just objectively wrong, like I got more hits than
Nas, right.
And then it turns into, well, I got more influence and impact. To who? Look, Nas does global things. Ben Horowitz and Nas are super close, and I'm close with Ben Horowitz, so I got to meet Nas and hang with Nas more through them. Nas road trips are not just concerts. This dude be getting achievement awards and like doing those kind of private events. I don't know if Jim Jones is getting $1 million to do a private event somewhere, but Nas is, and Nas is like on a whole different like level in terms of Jim Jones. No,
But he's talking about in hip hop. That's outside of like you get.
well, if you hire Nas, you don't like hip hop. I think you somewhere in it.
Today though. Because what
No,
everybody
yeah,
keeps
today.
doing is talking about Nas' whole career, which is his argument. Like I'm talking about
Nas
today,
did the
and y'all
symphony.
talking about yesterday.
Didn't Nas do like the what was that big symphony? I forget it.
Carnegie Hall type
yeah.
shit.
And the thing-
Carnegie Hall. Is Jim Jones
And
doing
the thing
Carnegie
with
Hall?
Shannon though, he also acknowledged he's like I know how great Nas is. I'm a bigger fan than Nas than you are. And he called Shannon out. He said you can't even name one Nas song. So he's like I used to want to be like Nas as a kid, but he's talking about now.
I still think Nas got him now. It's just with different frequencies. Like, you know how it is. Somebody could be the best in and one, but come on, dog. You can't play with these NBA guys. And you think you can until you don't.
style.
Or like, I'm the best in the streets. And then it's like, all right, but there's a corporate guy who got you beat. I think Jim Jones got the streets noise. But if you're talking about who's relevant and impact, you can't. You don't know. People don't
know
even
what happens-
recognize Jim Jones like they do Nas.
Like, I feel like Nas is like a classic jazz musician type
Yeah, I don't
deal.
know about that one.
He's at that stage of his career where he's just a classic dude, like who everybody respects.
But you know what happens once you get into legend status,
Right.
And especially if you're respected as an artist at that level, you can start putting stuff out and people just champion it. But even if it's not
Yeah, I
really
feel
that
you.
good, Jay-Z, that's happened with Jay-Z.
Yeah.
He's put out stuff and it wasn't that good, but because he's Jay-Z, it automatically gets hot. So like Nas put
Yeah.
out a song, I don't know, it was a year or two ago with Slick Rick. And
Ooh,
everybody-
Slick Rick new album is sick, too.
Yeah, but
bro.
that song was not. But everybody
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, Nas and Slick Rick doing all this. I'm like, come on. Y'all
Whoa.
only doing this because
They
it's
don't
No.
do that with Lil Wayne's new album.
Yeah, they smoked that.
Yeah, they giving him.
Yeah, but
I've never seen an album
I think
get
Lil
smoked
Wayne,
more than that.
Lil Wayne was still too active, even though he took little breaks. He's
point.
still considered like an active
I got you.
rapper. Like Nas and Jay-Z, even though they put out music, they kind of have like distanced themselves and have branched off into other worlds where they're more successful in that.
Gotcha.
Than
Yeah, like Lil Wayne still matters and counts and wants to be counted. So
Wants
then,
to be. He thinks he
still.
he
and,
thinks
and I'm not gonna lie, Lil Wayne can rap his ass off still. I hate when people are like, he ain't talking about nothing. I'm like, who is? And whoever was, and when was he ever? Like, them bars have not dropped. What changed on this album was whoever did all of the production, eclectic choices, like let's leave our core, they shouldn't have left the core.
Yeah, that wasn't
They
it.
always do that.
They always do that.
Like they reach a certain level of success and then they try to do something different.
Do you think Eminem's trying to stay relevant by his album dropping frequency?
He doing something different. He ain't on a hiatus no more.
Eminem is like such a weird.
It's hard.
I don't know how to really gauge him because he takes such long breaks.
Yeah.
And then he randomly comes back, and he has such a cult fan base that I feel like it don't matter what he do, like they just gonna listen to it.
Yeah.
They love him.
See, I think the big difference between somebody like a Jim Jones and a Nas is Jim Jones is never going to be a legend. He's still
Jim
trying
Jones
to
is a
fight.
legend.
No, he's
Who?
not.
Jim
Jim
Jones.
Jones.
And
It's two different types of legend. He is a legend.
He's not a legend. He's not
yeah,
legendary.
he's not
He's
a
in
legend.
New York. he is.
My
In the
19-year-old
tri-state
girl.
area.
Well, everybody's tall if you get around shorter people. Like you just say he's not a legend. Then you say, well, he's in New York. We keep making it smaller to make him bigger.
Diplomats.
Oh yes,
They're legends.
yes, they are.
He is a part. He
and
is,
the leader of the Diplomats is not Jim Jones. As much as he started.
It's him and Cam.
Say
are
that
the
it's
leaders.
Cam and him.
Cam Ryan.
Come on.
Jim
Well,
is bigger than Cam at this
At
point.
their height,
Jim
it
is bigger
was.
than Cam. Jim
Uncle
surpassed
Cam.
him.
He's about as
Jim
far
surpassed
as
him.
relevance or as far as music?
I rock with Cam.
Because Cam got the
And,
one of the hottest
and
podcasts.
Jules was higher in the
Juelz.
pecking, whatever his name. But he was
See?
higher in the pecking order than Jim Jones.
At a point.
Yeah.
Well,
That-
at their peak.
But wait, you gotta remember
At
this.
their
When
peak, it
Juelz
was
rapping,
Juelz
Jim
and
wasn't.
Cam.
When Juelz was at his peak, Jim wasn't rapping. So
Okay.
that's why he was higher than him.
Okay.
Then Jim put out stuff that has superseded both of them.
well, like what?
I mean, Ballin' is the biggest song that ever came out of any of them.
Yeah. But Jules had a lot of better. I mean, first of all, their song's better than that. But that was a huge song. I know.
I'm one of the biggest Diplomat fans. Hey, you too.
Yeah.
So I get it.
But Jules was it.
Yes.
Longer. Yeah.
That's why when he said, I'm like, there was that moment in time where he was supposed to be the man, and then he fell off. Jim, from the time he like
Well,
started
didn't
and
jail
getting
help that?
active, his career has consistently went like this, which is his whole argument. He's like, everybody keeps talking about from back then. I've been going like this the whole time. Like he's active and still putting out music and still has songs on the radio.
Oh, but let me read
doing
this.
things.
Tell me, respond to this, Just Blaze, because this is interesting, and I need to do more of this. Ryan in the chat says, music is not even close to being as impactful as it used to be. Music is such an important piece of culture, time, and place. I feel it's being purposefully decapitated every game, every song, all that stuff. What his point is, and I agree, yeah, you more impactful in like everything's disjointed now. Everything like radio, who cares, right? Like compared to streaming is like that, but who cares? Like nobody going to the Blockbuster or the Warehouse or Music Plus.
Tower
There's
Records.
Tower Records. There's nothing. So how are you impactful in music right now?
That's subjective, though.
No, I know.
There
The
are
answer is,
people
and the
who are
question.
very still attached and into music and like break it down. Like there are still people who, a lot of people are
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
oh yeah.
But
It's not like it used to be.
no.
Not
In the
close.
grand scheme of things, yeah, most people, the world is just moving at a faster pace.
It's
now.
going too
Songs
fast.
used to have 3 verses. Now they got 2 or 1.
Songs are
With
2
hooks.
minutes.
Yeah, it's-
Max.
So everything.
Remember when songs you
TV's
put,
like that.
You put the best rapper at the end. Now you better put them first.
Yeah,
Because if
but
not,
first, 'cause you ain't gonna hear them.
you ain't gonna hear them.
Right.
I remember.
Now,
that's one.
I don't know, but does Jim Jones have like TikTok hits and all that? Is that where he's getting his young
I'm
fan
not
base
big on
from?
TikTok, so I don't know, but
Right.
I know he has songs that have that trend.
Okay.
Like,
Damn, I'm out of touch. I'm 50 now because I don't know any new Jim Jones songs. I'm not even dissing. I'm
got
like
one
trying to
out
prop
right
him up.
now.
I don't
forgot
know
the
any
name.
Nas ones either, but I've
Listen,
listened.
I
I've heard a
asked
couple.
my daughters who are 19, and they don't know any Jim Jones songs. And one of them goes to school in New York. So,
like current Jim Jones songs.
yeah, they don't know Jim Jones at all.
So they've never heard Ballin'.
They probably have
Probably,
heard
yeah.
balling, but
So that's what
don't
I'm
know
saying.
it's Jim Jones.
I asked you that because if they don't even know none of the old stuff, even when it was high charting music, then that's just not their style of music. So that wouldn't be a fair question to ask them anyway, because that's just not their thing.
But that goes to relevance. They know Nas songs,
It ain't cutting through.
and I'm sure they know balling.
Well, Nas is more famous than Jim Jones,
Right.
But that's never been in question. His whole point is talking about relevance now, and everybody keeps talking about Nas past.
But if he
But if we're talking about balling, that's past, so that's 19 years
Yeah, he's
ago.
not bringing a ball in. He has songs out now. He's had songs out within the
maybe
past
we need
years.
them to talk to each other on the podcast because
Yeah.
we don't have enough evidence and
But they had
ammunition.
beef back in the day. And I think a lot of, like I said earlier, a lot of that trigger. You don't remember when Jim Jones was on Hot 97? He was like, I'll smack Nas Koofy off his head.
I do remember that.
Yeah, that
Why?
was like the whole thing. I don't even remember what the beef was about at this point. That's like 20 years ago now. But they was not rocking with each other. I Really Mean It, which is one of Diplomat's biggest songs. Cam wrote that about Nas.
Oh,
Like, so there was always tension there between them. So I think they're not catching that this is a little deeper than the music.
well, that makes sense now. I know why he lied about the Billboard part because like it's obviously you're so caught up emotionally that logically
that's what that was.
I mean, you got to grab headlines right now, which is sad, but that's how you stay relevant. Like, I hate this part of just mainstream now, where you literally can't just say what it is.
Yeah,
and-
break it down. I'm here for this one.
Man, versus, oh, I know how to go viral. I know how to get some clicks.
He said that too.
Yeah, and you just got to do an antic, which my wife and I disagree on this, and I got to give her credit. Look, my wife is right now on another speaking engagement. She just keeps going because not only does she have something she's passionate about and purposeful, but she knows what to say now. I don't say shit like that. Like, I always think the other side, I respect what they saying too, because I just disagree. But all these choice words and all this, since I voted for Trump, I'm anti-woke. I'm not anti-woke. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, some stuff I agree with. Give me the stuff. And I think if you're just a general nuanced person nowadays, you're getting left behind because nobody want to hear all that shit. All they want to hear is, what do you think, even if it's not true, and we'll take it from there. Like, the headlines that's a lie. I got more Billboard hits than Nas. That's a lie. That can't leave your mouth. It did. It's like,
He did say that.
yeah, and that's just wild to me. But
I think he's talking about now, like within the past, like recent time.
he like this.
Well,
last,
yeah,
last 2 years.
because Nas isn't recording now.
That's not true.
Well, he
Nas
is.
I mean,
Nas is
every
recording.
every once in a
He's
while.
put multiple albums out within the past 5 years.
Yeah, he put out like 3, 4.
Yes, we can see, but you ain't hearing. You're not hearing none of it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you thought that he wasn't doing it, which goes back to his point.
So tell your daughters that.
Yeah, that goes,
They
you asked
wrong.
them, tell them the name of Nas song in the past 5 years. Because when I asked you, you said they know Nas songs, but you talking about old stuff.
Yeah, I'm
Music,
talking about
are you only as good as you being heard?
No,
Because if nobody
no.
hear you,
no,
how are you good?
no.
How do you
Because
determine if you're good if nobody can say you are?
because like one, we're all kind of in our own bubbles
like
of
sports.
music. Like,
I'm saying that's like sports.
Yeah,
you
we're all in
could
a
be you could be
bubble.
good and you just didn't make it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not good.
Yeah, there's always an artist that you hear and you don't know who made that song. And then you're like, oh, that's who they are. Then you check their catalog and you're like, oh, they're huge. Or they're big overseas. Or like Drake used to find all these huge artists that the world didn't know, and then the world found out. But where they were from, they were already big. That's why he found out. Like, he was on a mission. Remember all them genres he kept jumping into? Yeah. He was grabbing the top dog that just didn't pop yet. But they were already huge.
That's how he got that.
That's
really hot like that.
Yeah. And so to that point, yeah, there's some cats out there killing it. We just don't know. And then next thing you know, everybody knows. Like,
well, and I think it's also who's making that determination.
Right.
Like, is
Yeah.
it a record executive or is it a teenager who wants to find somebody who hasn't popped yet? You know what I mean? Whose determination is that? A record executive would be like, yeah, you're not big unless people are hearing you, because it's money. But some people like the esoteric, person that hasn't been found.
Another thing that he said, and it's his opinion, but he was like, the only people who were arguing against me about this Nas Jim Jones things is everybody's 40 and up. You don't hear people under that up in arms. It's only the 40 and up. So that says something too. That goes to his point.
Does it?
Isn't he over 40?
Yeah, but his
48.
Point is, but his
He's
point
he
is
damn near
relevance.
50.
Right, but his point is about relevance. So like under 40, there's not a bunch of people arguing against him like that.
You know why? Oh, see, this
Over
is
40, there is.
This is that
It's not my point.
No,
I'm just repeating
about
what
to-
he said.
I'm going Jones. Let me get Jim Jones. Because the people who are younger don't have the references, they don't have the context, they don't have the beginning of Nas to now, which will include what he's been doing the last 5 years. So they don't even have perspective globally of Nas. So they never ever gonna have any reverence for Nas, and so that's why. So he's actually setting up. That's a straw man's argument because it's not fair to Nas because he's trying to limit it to now, but you can't say then. When did then start,
You're
Jim
100%
Jones?
correct.
Thank you. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
But here's the flip side to that, because that can work against you. Because you can also say that the people who have all that information, the older crowd, is jaded. Yeah, they're biased. Because like I heard all of this, I've been through all of this. Now I'm never gonna give this person credit because you have people who are like Nas is the greatest. So it doesn't matter what he does at all. It doesn't matter if he could have 10 #1 songs out right now. They're still gonna say Nas was the greatest because they've been following him for.
So it's LeBron and
that's
Jordan.
I'm about to say it's Michael Jordan, LeBron.
It's the LeBron Jordan conversation. Doesn't matter how good LeBron gets, even if he breaks all these records, there's always going to be people who say Jordan's better because of that. It's emotional factor.
Yeah.
All right, Justin, then you need to find the 100 people out there in the world that started listening to Jim Jones and Nas 5 years ago. And that's their frame of reference.
Or
That's
you
the
could,
framework.
or you're the person that's open-minded to both,
I'm here.
who lives in this relevant world, this
Oh, I'm
current
not there.
situation, and it's like, hey,
I'm out.
I can hear both sides of the argument. Like again, I said I believe Nas is clearly better than Jim Jones. I'm not, but I also can understand his argument as well.
But you're also in that group of you're biased because you have all that context with Nas.
I'm not biased to either because I could make the argument that I'm from Queens and I grew up on Nas. So I could be biased in that.
But
I listen to both.
Has Jim Jones had a hot song in the past 5 years? Like, do we know?
Yeah,
that?
We Set the Trends with Migos was a high charting song.
With-
you didn't even know
with
that song,
Migos?
did you? With Migos.
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna get into the feature.
We can't do that.
No,
Don't do that with the
2000
features
You like that
because
too? Features don't count.
No, that's all Nas got as far as like
Yeah, Nas
his
got
top
tons of-
songs, selling songs.
it's features.
Why I rock
It's
with
all
J.
features.
Cole.
Yeah, we
When?
can't do that with features.
Not Illmatic.
No, I'm talking about like
wasn't
his,
selling.
his highest charting songs.
Yeah,
like,
chart.
Hate Me Now is one of his biggest songs. It's a feature.
Yeah, I don't do the feature
There's
like.
something with the J Lo too. It's a bunch of
Yeah.
pop shit.
Yeah, he killed it. Well, none of this is gonna matter. Jim Jones, just explain when then started. If you're saying 5 years, say 5 years, but you can't keep just having this infinity of when it started, but right now is the
But he
end.
did say that.
When did he say?
When he did the Shannon Sharp one.
What did he say?
He's like, I'm talking about currently. Like he's like, I'm
But
still
what's currently?
actively.
That's not give me
Yeah,
parameters.
he would have to explain, but current is not 10
So
years
you just took
ago.
me all around and interrupted me because I was telling him to
No,
explain
but
that.
you said he needs to say that.
He
And I'm-
needs to explain it. When does this start?
Well, current. I said 5 years because I think current is within.
But
past
Jim
5
needs to
years.
explain it. So you gonna let me talk to Jim again? Let me stop. None of this shit gonna matter because the Clipse is coming out. Y'all heard the Clipse new song yet? So be it.
Oh yeah,
It's insane.
it's fire.
Dog, they and then the leak song
So-
fire.
I haven't heard. The
Oh, they got a
song
leak song on the album like you
I
can
wasn't a
pre-order.
fan of it.
I haven't heard it.
Huh?
And I love the Clipse.
No, you don't.
I do.
You-
Lord, let me tell you something. I blasted Lord Willin' so many times. I literally
How many
blew out
black
my
friends
speaker
you
in high
have?
school.
How many black friends you have? Like that has nothing to do with the fact that you trying to hate on this song.
Why is it hate? Why can't we be subjective here?
There's
Because I don't like a song, that means I'm hating.
That's what that song can't be not liked. I'm like it's like Billie Jean. Some songs you just like kind of hard to hate.
All I do is win is a huge hit. Do you like it?
Lord is willing.
All I do is win.
All I do is win.
The Khaled
I don't
song.
love it. You know me and you closer on that one than.
Right. I don't like it, but it's a huge
But
hit.
that's also not a song that you can't not like.
Depending who you ask.
No,
Which is
no.
this whole argument right here.
No.
Depends who you ask.
Let's get back to the so be it. Why don't
Right.
you like it?
I don't dislike it, but I don't like it as much as everybody else does. Like it's cool, but it's not like I was reading articles and people talking about it like it was the greatest thing ever. I'm like, it's
Because they're
cool.
excited that the Clipse are back and they came back fresh.
Which goes back to my argument I was talking about with Nas. When you are so invested into something and you have these legends who put out something, it just gets blown up immediately because it's like it's them.
But not Lil
They
Wayne.
released.
But well, I hear you.
Because he
Not-
stayed active. Clipse haven't put out an album in 20 years.
Yeah, and No Malice is back.
And they back with Pharrell too.
dropped the
So that's
no.
what
Pharrell.
that's what makes it.
How you
dope.
gonna say
He dropped the no.
For real.
He dropped
For
the
real.
Oh, he just Malice?
Yeah, Malice again. Yeah.
Oh, well, I take it. You think the album gonna be fire?
I think it is. I haven't heard it, but I think
If you think the bar got to be higher than that song, you're not gonna like their
I
album,
hope
probably.
it's not their best.
Because that song is insane to me. Like when I heard that, I was like, I swear I have not felt like that in a long time with a new rap song. Like all these other songs you talking about, like if it's a new rapper, if it's Drake or Kendrick, I that to me is different. I'm talking about like, yo, 2004, you remember when it was like everything was sick. I was like, this shit is classic and it's current. I was like, I ain't heard this in a while. I'm sorry we disagree on this one. I thought we had more love.
It was,
You and me,
it
Terry.
was the perfect mix of classic but still current. Like it felt good. Yeah, so
I mean, I wanna
I'm
hear
waiting
the
for the
whole
album. Huh?
Yeah.
I want to hear the whole album.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
All right, let's talk about something that you may agree with or not. I don't know. Stephen A. said that, I got to bring this up. Stephen A. said he doesn't like LeBron. And then he put words in LeBron's mouth and said he don't like
me either.
And I don't know. I mean, I use y'all as my guide and compass. That's LeBron ever said that? I mean, he certainly with actions maybe, but has he ever said that? And more importantly, what y'all think about that? Like how much of the commentary can we imagine over the years has been straight up not hate, but not love? Like LeBron deserved more flowers in that moment, but I don't like you. So guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to give you any extras. And you can, I think you objectively can look at anybody and say, I don't like you, but I can still cover you. I think that's fair. What I don't think happens, though, is when they deserve something, you give them all they deserve. So that's really basically undermining what I just said.
I don't think he can.
Caught that?
Yeah.
I think it was a bad move for him to announce that. You know what I mean? Because now people are going to look at him critically no matter what he says.
No matter what.
Right? And then secondly, I was thinking about this because it struck me as really, really strange. And what came to me was that was Stephen A's way of trying to put himself on LeBron's level.
Ah, that's what you took?
That's what I took from it. Because what he was saying was that he has the ability to not like LeBron. And trying to
And it matters.
and that right, and that matters the same way LeBron doesn't like him. So he was trying to equate himself to LeBron in my eyes. That from the way I think about how people have a motivation to do something. That's what it feels like to me. And you don't. I mean, you Stephen A. He's LeBron. He's doing it. You're talking about it.
I
actually
actually got a lot of
was gonna
power
say.
and influence.
Yeah.
What he says sets the temperature of what the culture talks about in sports.
Yeah, but guess what? One of them could be easily replaced, and one of them couldn't.
I think that's a good assessment, but I don't think that's what it is.
that's true.
I don't think it was that deep. I think he's just hurt, and he's saying that off of emotion. You ever seen somebody get like bullied or punked? They get something taken from them, and they're like, "Well, I didn't want it anyway." You ever seen that happen?
yeah.
He got punked in front of the world. Like everybody talked about it, everybody seen it. So I think now he's just, well, I didn't really like him. I never liked him, and it's just more him like covering for himself, trying to justify like certain actions or things that's happened between them because he's been embarrassed. Because he never said that before the situation.
Right, but see, he didn't even say that during the situation.
Right.
We're months later now,
That's what I'm saying.
and
That's
he's
why I know
saying
he's hurt.
that. So I think he's trying to raise his own status. And I think
that
that's
ain't gonna
a
help him.
constant thing with Stephen A. He's trying to raise his own platform and raise his own status. More and more people have kind of become tired of him, and there was even articles about over the last week people getting tired of Stephen A. Then all of a sudden he does that. I think he's trying to say I'm as important as LeBron.
But I think that hurts his status. Not
He
help.
is more. I mean, you got to think to a degree he is because LeBron's more. He's closer to retiring than Stephen A. is.
Yeah.
Right. Stephen A. has a chance to be the president and run for it. You know what I mean? Let's just. But the main thing I want to get at is this, though, is that Stephen A. Smith's voice will carry on much further and consistently on national TV than LeBron. That's why. Who you gonna watch? You think people running the First Take or they running to LeBron's HBO? The Shop.
First take. First take.
Exactly. So when we talk about voice power, yeah, Stephen A. got him. Now court, obviously not.
Yeah.
I think it's even. They're both powerful in two completely
Stephen
different
all
ways.
day.
I think LeBron moves the needle in certain fields that Stephen A. has no control over, but in the media space and in that world, Stephen A. can. Stephen A.
I
can
know
move
we
that
about to
needle.
go.
There's no, you can't say. Here's the thing about LeBron, you have to put Stephen A.'s voice over LeBron's, because when we listen to LeBron, first of all, he is the pro. He is arguably the GOAT, right? But then when he says counterintuitive things like, hey, ring culture, and start explaining these things that verbally we don't agree with, it's like, yo, hold up. You're a professional. You're coming down on layman's terms because you're saying things that don't make sense. Stephen A., we expect him to say things. It doesn't make sense. Why? Because he's not the pro. So he's on national TV every day, and we can appreciate it because sometimes he's entertaining, he's fun. We can't wait to go see the sort. Who said? Did Stephen A. Smith say it? Cool. Did LeBron say it? It's like, he said it. All right. But how serious do you take LeBron's voice? His game? Definitely take him serious.
But what speaks louder than words? Actions. And that's what used to win in our culture, media as well, where the athletes had the voice because they're the ones we're watching. They're the ones we're gathering for. And you never saw or, more importantly, felt the attempt from any broadcaster before Stephen A. where I really wanted to be bigger than them. Even Skip didn't approach it that way. Skip was trying to bring them down sometimes, but you can see Stephen A. pulling himself up, which is a different mechanism. I love both for different things. And I always gave blindly the tie to the athlete because I'm like, dog, I'm tuning in for live events, and the world still is only tuning in for live events. First Take, everybody's numbers are suppressed because we're cutting cords and everything's fractured. But the athlete is now in competition. Not the athlete. Let me stop saying it. Maybe a GOAT, like all-timers in competition with a guy who just talks about it. And to me, that's an amazing amount of props we should give to Stephen A. for having that type of voice and platform. But also, I feel robbed or sabotaged that now LeBron James is in that kind of battle where his game should be far surpassed somebody just talking.
I think what it is, like with a lot of athletes who are now in the media, they got there because they wanted to, they were being misquoted and they wanted to share their side of the story and make it a fair playing field. And I'm cool with that. And giving their perspective from their point of view as being athletes. What it feels like with LeBron is like he's just trying to force the narrative. It's always an agenda with him, it feels like, about him selling himself as the GOAT. Even with his boys, with Rich and them, even with the show, the barbershop show. It's all about controlling the narrative that, like, and the people aren't buying it. And I think that's what's frustrating to him. So he can't get into a pissing match with Stephen A. Because, like we said an hour ago, he's going to be, like, the chances of LeBron being irrelevant in 5 years is pretty great.
Remember we were talking about how you get punked out of your personality when you're confident, cocky, whatever it may be. This is the same thing to media. So when we came into the league, they used to always say never get into an argument with the media because they got the last word, right? And I looked at that immediately. I was like, oh, so you're trying to tell me that they can say whatever about me, but I can't say what I want about them. I'm going to lose that battle. It's another way that they tame you. They neuter you. They just basically punk you. So that was the way for a long time with athletes. And then finally the athlete said, I got $5. I got a voice. I got a platform. Let me start talking back, right? Or I'm gonna out you, or I'm not going to work with you. And that we went through that phase, and now we just in straight battle mode. Like you. And I just can't believe we're in that space when literally we're really there for the athlete, I thought. But now maybe the entertainment value is so high with the personality that it competes with the entertainment value of the athlete. I never thought I would get to that space. But we are, because Jake Paul and his brother, Logan Paul, are proving it. Like voices that are athletes, but command the most money. Blaze going to bed, y'all. So
I'm literally saying, I'm listening.
I need defensive. Have you ever fallen asleep when we talk?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, right now it was 1. Okay. We recording this? Let me stop. But the point is, like, that battle is here, and it ain't going nowhere. And Stephen A. might beat out LeBron James in terms of who we see him as. That's gang related, dog. That sucks.
What you mean?
You said all of that to end. That's how you went to end.
I had to get a little noogie out. You heard that?
It started so strong.
Well, you interrupted me.
Gang related.
It sucks. I had a noogie. What really is bad about it is because I don't really champion for athletes. I just think that I'm there for this reason, and the commentary is supposed to be extra. It's supposed to be condiments. I didn't know it's now meat and potatoes. And that's what's interesting, especially when I don't like you. Like, you're poisoning the meal. Like, the meal is the athlete, I thought. I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't see it the same way. I think if LeBron really wanted to crush him, he could.
I'll be interested in how.
I mean, because LeBron can hop online and get as many views as First Take gets. If he wants to.
Well, he already got a podcast.
How would
Is
that
it?
crush Stephen A?
Yeah, he got one with Nash.
How would that hurt Stephen A, though?
Well, because I think LeBron could push the needle on Stephen A more than Stephen A can push the needle of acceptance or rejection on LeBron.
What, more McAfee appearances, you saying?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think LeBron's being nice about it.
In the media
be
space,
perfectly
I think
frank.
Stephen A is a little stronger than him in the media space.
I don't
He got
think
way
maybe
more
that's
people,
high road.
I think he
connections.
is, but I think if LeBron wanted to, he could surpass it. And I
Maybe.
think he could surpass it instantly.
But also, you don't think as long as Stephen A has been in, you
tried on
don't
the
think,
shot.
yeah, you don't think he knows
No,
things or
not
has heard
really.
things about LeBron that he's never put out there?
Well, I know that for a fact that he always keeps that ammunition, but more importantly, if you have a fight with somebody, you expect them to just throw hands. You don't expect weapons. You don't expect them to grab the ketchup bottle. If a fight happened verbally between Stephen A and LeBron's going to take a higher road than Stephen A. Stephen A going to grab whatever's in that diner, whatever's around him, and swing it at him.
And it's going to work against LeBron.
And it's going to work against LeBron, and people going to give Stephen A a pass because they're like, yeah, you're Stephen A. You're not even an athlete. And what are you doing arguing with you? And look how big he is. And, like, all that stuff. Because even with the incident that happened with them at the Laker game, there were surprisingly way more people, like, with Stephen A. And I thought if he would have just stayed quiet on it, he would have got some sympathy. But then he started going on the podcast and gangbanging and acting like he doing now, just keep adding more layers of like how you really are hurt. Because LeBron has been icing you out for this long, and now we here to the point where you say stuff like, I don't like him and he doesn't like me. Which he probably knows for a fact, but it just sounds like, damn, dog.
I mean, he just volunteered it. There was no reason to even say it. So that tells you how much impact LeBron is having on him. He felt like he had to announce that to the world.
Yeah.
LeBron has never. He has that opportunity every day.
But that's his job
There
to
was-
talk. LeBron James, his job isn't to talk.
Yeah.
So, of course, Stephen A. and his creativity, he's going to pull in on things and get into details and find things to talk about. But when it comes to LeBron, nobody's paying him dollars to come on here and talk. The only time he can do that is when he's a guest on a podcast. Like, the only way LeBron can get this out, seriously, is to stage the podcast. He has to tell the host, hey, I want you to ask me a specific question about Steven so I have an excuse to say it, so it's not on my platform and seem like I'm out here just like leaking or, just out here hurt feelings. I want you to ask me so I have a reason to say it.
Sure. And he could do
Stephen A.
that
could just do it on
instantly.
his and we don't question it.
And he could be on Pat McAfee tomorrow.
Stephen A is on every day.
Every day.
You're not going to win that battle going against somebody who's in front of the mic every day talking. And here's another thing.
good at it?
Here's how you know Stephen A could win that battle.
Well, I'm
gonna give you one thing.
That's you saying that it actually is a battle.
I'm gonna give
I
you
think,
one
I think
thing.
LeBron's reach is so much bigger than Stephen A's reach.
Maybe, but let me tell you why LeBron would lose that battle if it got there. Because he cares so much about his reputation and where he's at on this chart of GOAT, right?
Yep, high
so
road.
all Stephen A got to start doing is that sources talk. So hey, my sources told me that you was doing this. Oh, remember you disappeared in Miami for that time? Oh, you was juicing up. Or start just throwing a bunch of random things in there.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, that sources told them that can devalue where you are on that that totem pole of GOAT. And that's what he cares about at this point the most.
Yep.
It happens to players all the time. Players lose money based on things that media has put out there that happened behind the scenes.
The reason why you love or hate LeBron is going to disappear soon. He plays basketball. The reason why you love or hate Stephen A. Smith ain't going nowhere. It's just the same way as Mayweather. Love me or hate me, he's going to continue to. Well, he stopped boxing. So he fell off as an athlete, right? If he was continuing to box, as Stephen A. Smith is going to continue to be in front of a microphone and a TV, he's not going to lose his dominance in the era that, like you said, we're cutting the cords, is going to streaming constantly. He's going to push a narrative forever, as long as he wants, and as long as he's alive, about Jordan, this, that, and so many people going. You can't beat somebody in front of a mic in an argument.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
They always have the last word.
Yeah,
and that's the mantra.
but you forget LeBron can pick up a mic.
But
LeBron has one. LeBron has one of the
But
most.
now that's not what you are. That's not what we love you for. That's not who you are at your core. That's who Stephen A. is. And Stephen A. is winning by every reason y'all said, that high road, and LeBron doesn't want to get dirty and messy in this fight, but he wants to win the fight. Stephen A. is like the rapper, the artist we're talking about. Every time he mentions LeBron, that's like getting a feature with the biggest other artists out there. And that's why Stephen A. will never lose, because he keeps bringing up LeBron is like, bam, I know it's going to hit. Just like if you bring up Stephen A., bam, you're going to get some more people. Like, it's all this domino effect. And Stephen A. argues with LeBron or makes up arguments with LeBron because that's the other big artists out there, right? That's Taylor Swift with Bruno Mars on it, like, god dang. And I think that I hate to say, I think Stephen A., if he wants to, he's playing nice. Because he literally, I know he's lied before, because everybody has lied when they say sources. Whenever they say sources, your truth serum is not being taken right now. Sources, you exaggerating something, or you just testing something out. They do that a lot. He could go to sources on LeBron that don't exist.
That was my point.
You can't prove it.
And it's a wrap.
And that'll hurt his career. Like, it hurts his image, everything.
I feel like the only way LeBron wins this, I guess, this kind of battle. I mean, because how do you determine who won anyway, right? I think if he has to take personal jabs, like
and he won't win that.
On some hey, Stephen A. Smith, whatever he has to say it straight up. Not no kind of PR
passive aggressive.
If he got on if he face down a barrel selfie, Stephen A. Smith, let me tell you what I think about you. If he come out like that,
That's what I'm saying.
But he can only do it once.
yeah,
Right.
you can't. Man,
He can,
Boy,
and he
boy,
can,
you better hit.
and he
You
can,
take a shot.
and he can do that. He can do that at any
But
time.
he look like a bully
if
if
he
he keeps
wants
doing
to.
it though.
Huh?
If he did it, he'd keep looking like a
Then
bully.
Then he looks
Yep,
like
yep.
Stephen A.
And you
How
can't do
people
that.
getting tired of Stephen A. keep talking to him and bringing it up. So LeBron only got one shot to get it all
And that one shot could be real heavy.
put together.
It could
Nah.
be that could be a 500
TV
pound bomb.
every day talking. Like,
The America or fans do not credit or give respect to the Goliath that wins. They give it to the David that wins, right? Like, that's how the whole arc is. Like, we're looking for those heroes. So LeBron has so much. This when we were talking about how LeBron, I knew he was gonna get hated on sooner or later because he has so much from Hello, and then he overachieved. America hates that. That's why they boo Destiny Child. That's why Santa Claus gets booed. Like, it's nobody trying to hear all these wins. Give me somebody who fell down and got back up. That's why Kobe got so much love. He was getting love, then the hate, and then he resurrected and came back, and they were like, love. Okay, you redeemed yourself. And the darkest time for LeBron is what? When he turned heel in Miami for a day? Like, come on, dog. Like, I'm telling you, LeBron will lose because people, whether it's jealousy, envy, or just fatigue of success, they do not root for you fully. You got to show some warts. Like, that's like the homegirl, like, that's cute. That girl looks flawless right now, but you know you don't. And been there, right? And I think LeBron, any shots at Stephen A., why you picking on that man? That old man, that little man. He just talking. That's what he do for a living. Oh, LeBron, you should just be caring about getting rings. You just mad at Jordan. Like, dog, this is wild. He in a trap. He in the trap.
It's a rock and a hard place for real.
Yeah, that's
that's
true
why he
dilemma.
stopped talking about it because I think he knows it's a battle you just can't win.
Just don't add fuel to the fire. Let it go.
Let it go. It's easier said than done when it's.
Or it could be that he feels like he's the wolf and Stephen A's a sheep, and the wolf don't argue with the sheep.
Yeah, but the moment that he walked on the court and did that with him, that goes out the window.
Yeah, but LeBron clearly won that whole exchange. Clearly.
Depends who you ask.
He clearly won it because the way Stephen A had to react to it and go on his world tour trying to drop bombs, and it never stuck.
I think LeBron.
I think this is a mixed reaction.
Yeah, I think in that moment, LeBron didn't win as he felt and thought he should have. And then Stephen A made them start to sway and go towards LeBron. Because if Stephen A would have stayed quiet, you come up on me, I'm around my friends, these famous people. I'm just like, I just got paid that day. You bum rush me with this. I'm just trying to respect you as a dad. I'm sorry. And would have left it there, people were going to Stephen A's side. But then he came on Gil's and start gangbanging on him. And then there was, oh, you want the smoke.
With the Nino Brown
Yeah,
cussing.
yeah. Start cussing.
The black turtle.
Yeah, it's politics and art and all this stuff. What else y'all got to talk about? What y'all got on you?
I'm surprised you didn't bring up your boy going to Houston.
KD?
KD.
Oh, man, let the chips fall where they may. And this is going to be a chip in Houston. Oh,
right
boy.
in the dumpster.
Clippers and
Where the
Clippers.
chips are going to fall.
Talking about KD?
Yeah.
And
You
the
think they're
Rockets?
going to win?
I think they got a shot.
Steph on that team?
Man, they got.
Is Steph on that team?
No.
Oh, so KD ain't getting another
Their
ring.
second favorite to win it.
got
Okay.
KD ain't getting
They got
another
a
ring if
squad.
Steph
They got
ain't
Van
there.
Fleet. They got Thompson. They got KD. They got the big center.
All
I
the
like it.
non-champions.
They got a great coach.
Oh, don't do the non-champion. Everybody becomes one.
Yeah, they got a great coach.
And Fred Van Vliet is a
not-
champion.
And he is a
I'm
champion.
just basing it off his history. His history is he's won a championship with other champions. People who are
Fred
already
Van
champions.
Vliet.
I would have said.
You got
Fred.
Fred Van. That's true. Maybe he has hope. Maybe Fred Van Vliet.
You
I
see
carry
this
them.
thinly
I think
veiled troll attempt? This thinly
It
veiled.
wasn't even thinly veiled.
I mean, thickly veiled. Is that
Because
a
I
word?
hate the fact he jumps from team to team like that. It's so
Why he can't do
it's
that?
so weak.
But that all right.
But this is the one to
it's
make
weak.
though. This is the
As
move to
soon as he
make.
don't get what he wants, as soon as he gets a little uncomfortable somewhere, he asks to leave.
No,
yo,
he didn't
you
ask
wanted
to
go
leave.
Phoenix.
He didn't ask
He
to
asked to
leave.
leave. They tried to trade him.
Yeah.
They tried to trade him.
You think he? You
See, look how your argument be
I'm
wicked.
gonna say this because
Dog.
I literally said the same thing.
You be making
when
up
we were
shit.
talking about Kevin Garnett. When I was like, "Yo, Kevin Garnett didn't."
Sources say.
Kevin Garnett didn't leave to go to the Celtics. Yeah, I was like, he got traded. The first thing you said is, "Oh yeah, you don't think he asked to do that?" It's the same thing. You don't think KD had conversations with him saying he wanted to be out of there?
I do.
No, I'm not sure.
I
I
think
don't know if he had a
You
no
think
trade
they
clause
just
or not.
randomly wanted to trade Kevin Durant? You don't think there
What
was
happened
no
with AD and
conversation?
Luka? There's no conversation. It just happened.
But there
True.
was more behind that though.
No, it ain't more.
AD had no
Remember,
clue.
More weight.
They
Your
already
fat
had issues
ass.
with Luka. They was having issues with Luka, is what I'm saying.
No,
Well,
I mean,
they're trying to dump salary in
Right, that's what I'm
Phoenix.
saying.
They can't trade
Beal.
and Booker is way younger. So
Yeah. You're biased. That's unreal. Like you lost 3 arguments just right now because you came in loaded talking about he ain't playing with Steph, he can't win. Why can't an athlete or you, whoever you are, hop ship?
Is it biased or is it based off what I've seen?
Well, no,
I'm
'cause
basing it
you
off
don't respect
actual
what you've
things
seen.
that have taken place. Every team he's went to outside of Golden
No,
State,
no. Why
he
you gotta
lost.
say he went to that team though? Count it.
Right, so we're going to count the one, but
You
not
don't.
all the other teams?
Why does it matter?
So
He
that's
won.
bias. You only want to count one side
No,
of
I
it.
said count them all.
That's what I said. You,
Okay.
But you stopped me to take one.
'Cause you
I
said
every
outside
team,
of.
Right. I said I'm including all. I said
Good.
every team he went to
That's not
outside
true.
of Golden State, he has not won. I'm speaking on
can't
all of
believe-
them. You just
Okay.
want to talk about when he won.
Can you breathe? Listen,
I am breathing.
Listen,
I'm
you don't
breathing
even
facts.
need to say
I'm breathing
outside of.
facts.
You don't have to say outside of. It counts. He got 2 in Golden
I
State,
said I'm talking
and that
about
was
when
a
he
choice.
did not win.
Yeah,
That
and
counts
so we
too.
don't know if he's gonna win or not here, but he has chosen a place
If you went
where he
7
won.
places and you didn't win, and you went to 1 and you won, the odds show that you ain't gonna win. If we go on probability
but,
here.
but we're not doing odds because this is
No,
not the.
you not.
No,
I
you-
am.
You can't do odds. They're
course
not the
I
same
can.
variables. It's not the same teammates.
So
he
do you-
just said they got a squad.
So you think he's gonna
The
win?
West is not the same.
Dude, Justin, Vegas
Dog,
has
you-
Houston's
do y'all-
second
do
favorite
y'all
odds
think
to
he's
win it
gonna
all.
Thank
win.
you. They got
Second favorite odds to
what
win
happened
it all.
odds?
Vegas does that every year.
So,
Do y'all, but y'all,
KD?
4 arguments.
Vegas had them winning when he went to the Nets.
Well,
Vegas had him winning when he went to Phoenix.
Injuries.
Injuries.
That's the beauty of this.
They had him up there when he went to Phoenix.
This the beauty
Tell
of
me
it.
about the injuries.
Bill's
We're
Tell
not
me
saying
about the injuries.
We're not
Vegas
saying they
trash.
are. They actually were injured. Bradley Bill was hurt. He was hurt.
Booker was hurt.
Booker got hurt too.
They
So what do you
are
mean?
not. They were. I'd never believe when
hurt.
he goes somewhere that he's going to win. Everywhere he's went, I've had the same argument.
No,
and
you
it-
haven't everywhere because
But this is
He
the
wasn't
most
there.
this is the most balanced team he's been to without
No, the most
outside of Golden
balanced team he
State.
went to was-
Outside of Golden State.
Don't say outside of Golden State.
Well, you're not making
Don't say that.
Well,
Don't
since
say that.
Golden State,
Oh,
this is the
okay.
most
Yeah,
balanced
yeah.
team he's been
Started
on.
off with a balanced team, didn't he?
Who?
Okay, see.
Right.
No,
His
I'm
original
saying
team was balanced.
We're all
Nah,
talking about
Harden
since
left.
Golden State.
Once Harden
since-
left.
No.
Since
they
they
was
started
balanced
moving
when
around.
Harden was there.
No, I know. And then
He
Harden
was Harden
left.
was there for years.
Yeah, I know. And then Harden left.
And they didn't win.
Right.
Everywhere he goes, they don't win. Except
That's not
for-
true everywhere he goes.
That's not true. All right, so tell me the team where
Everywhere
went.
he goes, they don't win. Say that again.
Yeah.
Every
Listen to
little
what you
city
just
he
said.
goes.
Why he
Because we
went
not-
out
There's
of
no
league, dog.
outside in that
Here we go.
statement.
He got to go outside
Because
again.
we already know Golden State, but that's my argument. He only won because he went to a team of champs. He went to Steph, which is why I always said Steph was the better player because he is the reason why they won. When he didn't go everywhere he went, outside of him being with Steph, he cannot win. He's not even getting to the finals with these
Justin,
teams.
what are we going
He's
to do
on
if
super
KD
teams,
wins
he's
this
not
year?
getting to the
What are we going to
finals.
do if KD wins this year?
Like, we're not going to skip facts. He went to a team of
Yes.
multiple teams with star players and has not got to the finals with them.
Okay.
But y'all keep trying to tap dance around that.
We're
'Cause you
not
like
tap
KD.
dancing. We're saying count it all or don't count any of it.
I am counting. I'm counting
Okay,
all
good.
those losses, and y'all only want to count the 2 wins.
Because that is a sign that he got
Yeah,
it
but
right
y'all don't want
before.
to talk about the losses.
We
Like
are
KD?
talking about the
You a
losses.
KD fan?
No, I'm not.
We are talking about the losses, but my point is not even that because that's kind of.
I think he's great,
I
but
think
I'm
it's
not
kind of
a fan.
simple. That point, like dog, he chose wrong most times, but he won once. Look, Magic, like all these guys have lost more than they won. If you really wanted to have a simple conversation, no one in history has won more than they
But
lost.
they're not all hopping
Except
from team
maybe
to
Bill
team.
Russell.
They're not all jumping from team
But
to
no,
team and
so
trying
that's
to win.
my greater point. I think your point where you're disguising it in that, but the real is you don't like them jumping team to team.
That's the first point I said.
I know, and that's why I want to stay there. Stop talking about outside of. Let's stay there. What's wrong with jumping teams if it's your career?
I think
with
it's
jumping
weak.
teams?
I think it's weak when he's chasing a ring.
Okay.
It's not like he left. So when he left OKC and went to Golden State, I didn't like it because I thought it was weak just off the strength that they had just beat you. If he had left OKC and went to any other team, I'd have been perfectly fine with it. Because, you've been there, you played for OKC for years. Maybe you just don't like it no more. Maybe it's not a right fit for you. So you want to try and win somewhere else. But when you went to the team that just beat you, that you was up on,
Okay.
to me, that's weak. And I feel like ever since
why
then,
is that weak?
he's been chasing chips.
Okay,
Like,
I'm not gonna ask why that's weak because we've beat that down. It's nothing profound you can say about why that's weak. You just think it's weak. That's fine.
Justin, don't you have to say that about
competitive
Kyrie?
nature and me, I would never do that. Huh?
Kyrie, Kawhi.
But
James
everywhere
Harden.
you go,
they're
you
all
have to
chase. They're all going to different teams. Kyrie went to multiple teams.
Kawhi didn't chase.
He
chip.
won in
He
the
went to
Raptors.
Toronto. He
He
went
won
to a
in
team
the
that had
Raptors.
never won.
But he won.
How's that chasing? He went to a
then
team
he went
that
to the
had never
Clippers.
won.
Then he went to the
They won.
Clippers.
He was chasing. He had to chase something.
He was up. He was a free agent, right? He had went to a team. The
I don't know
Spurs
if he was
traded
free or
him
not.
to the Spurs traded him to Toronto. Nobody when he got
Well, then
traded
he ain't
there
free.
was saying, "Oh, he just got traded to a championship team."
But I don't
nobody
understand
thought that.
what credence are you
Nobody
giving
thought
that?
that when
But
he went
okay,
to Toronto.
but your whole conversation is based off of nobody said that. But you got no
what he
matter
said.
whatever you just said, no matter where you
And it's stuff
live.
on me I didn't even say.
You
but go
said
ahead.
you said nobody was saying that you went to a championship team.
Because he said, what about when he got traded to
Blaze,
Toronto
Blaze,
as if that was
listen
a
to this.
team?
Listen to this. Who gives a fuck? No matter where you land, you just said they can make you the favorites and you don't win. No matter where you land, you still got to climb that mountain. I don't understand this for real. Like, why is it weak? There's nowhere you land that's guaranteed. So why is it weak?
There's a difference between climbing the mountain with support and everything to get you up and just freehanding it with nothing.
How?
He went to Golden State and had all the support to climb that mountain.
He showed
when
both
other
ways.
players go to other teams that have won
But then
and
he
they
do
didn't
it
have
both
all of
ways.
that.
He climbed up there with Steph, and then he didn't climb up there with Harden and others.
And what happened?
So the point is, he's done it both ways. But why is one way, oh, that's a good, valiant way, but you failed, and another way, oh, you won, but you're weak?
I don't like players
That's
jumping
crazy.
from team to team trying to chase a championship, and I'm gonna tell you specifically why. And maybe we the same age, so I would think you'd agree with me. But in basketball, growing up, you playing, but I never. If a team just beat me, I never at one point was in the park was like, oh, I need to go join them. I want to play you until I beat you.
Oh, yeah, I
And
wanna come back and beat
I'm
them.
not joining nobody else's
I'm not
team
joining,
that
yeah,
just
yeah,
beat
facts.
me just so that I can now say I won. That's weak to me. You ain't gotta agree.
Right.
Some people want to join other people's team just to get the easy ring. That's not me. I want to feel like I earned that. Like
Easy
I got
ring. There's
You
no
go to a
such.
team that was just 72-10 and had just won a championship. That's an
They didn't
easy
just
ring.
win a championship. That was
The
a year before.
I give you
They
that.
just won.
That's not just one
you
because
that.
another team just beat them.
I'm saying
When they
just won a
came a begging
championship.
and calling, they were
I
not
didn't say, I
champions.
didn't say the year before. I said they had just won a championship. So
Yeah.
you just won a championship like 2 years ago. That's still, are you still a recent champion? And they had the same team.
But I don't understand. You don't understand the climb that no matter where you go, it's hell to pay, and
I
you got to go
understand
through
that
it.
climb. I
So
just
why
don't
you don't give
respect that
credit to
move.
those who do it?
Because I don't respect that move, and I just explain why I don't like a player doing that.
No,
I
okay.
think that's a weak thing to do.
I'm with
I
you,
want to
Matt.
beat that person. I don't want to join their team.
Beat that person, but then no two teams are ever the same.
That's
Come
true
on, now
too.
it's semantics.
So,
now. The Warriors
it's
were
not
pretty much-
semantic
the
that they're
Warriors were the
moving
same-
variables.
The Warriors were pretty much the same exact team,
Nah.
minus a bench player or so.
Nah,
Their
I don't
starting
know when, in
five
and out.
that got them to the championship was the exact same starting
No,
five.
well,
man,
they
I guess.
begged
When
they
he
begged him to come. So if you think it's weak, why do you think your opinion or y'all opinion of it's weak is more valid than the team that went to beg him and went to Long Island, wherever, what they call it, Hampton 5. Steph went there and said, "We need you," and they don't think it's weak. He don't think it's weak because he does it, but you or y'all think it's
You
weak.
don't
You know
think the
why?
Warriors weak for,
You know
for
why?
asking them to come?
The Warriors
No,
begged them.
I think that was weak for them too.
So I don't hear you diminishing the Warriors.
Because
I
they
hear
were
you
already
diminishing
champions,
KD.
so I look at them a little differently. They already won without him. So the fact that they say, "Hey, come join us," if you weak enough to join them, that's on you. But they didn't. They already won. They had already shown.
But they were not the same. That's why they went and begged him. Why would you, if you already won and everything the same? Why we need you?
because they wanted more firepower. That's what a team. That's what teams
We
do.
needed something different.
Do I like it? I don't like that they did it, but it is what it is. But again, you said, why does my opinion matter more than theirs?
Do you or
no,
y'all?
My opinion, just like when you talk about Trump and Kamala, all that, you say, why are people so mad that I voted for this? Your vote is just as strong as mine.
No,
it's the
I'm not.
same, right?
I'm not
My
taking your
opinion-
right away.
Right, my opinion is my opinion.
No,
I
I'm
don't
saying
care
why
how other
do
people
I
feel
said,
about it.
But I'm saying, why do you think that's weak? You or y'all think that's
Well,
weak?
That's why I gave you the park analogy. When I played basketball growing up, if I'm losing to a team, I'm not joining their team just to say I won. I'm gonna play until I beat y'all.
Yeah.
We do that. We play pickleball. I think we was playing.
But that's
Richie
not
and
the
them,
same.
And Richie
The team
spanked
is
us
not
3
the
games in a
same.
row. We like, nah, we not breaking this up.
The
We got to
team-
get them off the
money's
court.
not involved.
No, that's not true. Because I also say I don't care. Switch it up. I do both.
Money's not
But I'm saying
involved.
you have done that.
Money's not involved in that situation too, though. That plays a big factor.
Well, one,
He was getting his money either way, though.
The fact is, there's no two teams that's ever the same. You never come back to. You play every year. Was your team's the exact same?
Brand new team every
Never. So that's already a fallacy. Two, you come a calling to me, and I go there and I'm weak, and then y'all not weak for calling me. That's all I'm saying.
I don't
said they both were
necessarily.
weak.
I don't necessarily think it's weak that he joined. I think it's kind of weak on how he left.
That too.
That
Well,
was more so.
He left them hanging.
Did you
Why
see
at the
it? 'Cause
Draymond?
the argument
Do you remember
is-
Draymond and all that?
Yeah, they got into an argument.
No, that's not an argument when you just, that's a monologue and you got to get something off your chest because I won't answer if I'm staying. Draymond, you talking about getting your
Just to
feelings.
clarify, I don't think KD is weak. I'm saying the situation.
Draymond got
like
his
that.
feelings so hard because he didn't get an answer from KD. He tried to emasculate that man. That man was like, dog, I got to tell you what the fuck I want to do. What's
Aren't you
wrong
the
with
same
you?
person that say you don't care about what people say to you? So you can say anything to me. It won't get under my skin. It don't bother me. It's just words.
What? Yeah,
That's
that's,
what
me.
you
My
said.
name's not Kevin.
Teflon.
Right. So
Teflon
right.
skin.
My name's
So-
not Kevin
so
Durant.
why-
What do you mean? I can't dunk either. What the fuck?
Right, so you're doing the same thing I'm doing. That's how I view it. The situation, I feel he's weak, and you're like, whoa, wow. You
No,
feel this
I'm
way?
not doing
That's
the same.
it's the
I
same
think
thing.
Kevin Durant, no, I don't think he was weak going. I don't think anything was weak about leaving when somebody come at you like that. And you're not getting proper credit. Everybody killing you. And they saying, well, it's really Steph's team. And he's like, these finals MVPs are Steph's. And this balling, these stats are Steph's. And then I got his team starting to come at me like that. I thought that was all fine. But it's not none of my point. My point is this. How come if you were the athlete and you decided one day you woke up, you Kevin Durant, and you're like, man, I want to go over there and play over there in Houston. Make it happen. You really think there's a problem with that? You're chasing something? You really think if you were him that he shouldn't have the freedom to do all this stuff he's
gotta
done?
chase something.
I don't have a problem with him leaving the team. I have a problem with him now because he's done it too many times.
But what
The
is that
first-
number? 2, 1, 3?
It's too many. I don't have a specific number,
He's
but
like,
he has. Cause
Don't
it's
feel
based
right.
on the scenario.
But then that means
he
that you
left
really-
OKC
you ain't-
to chase to get his ring. He got his rings. Then from there, he wanted to get out of there. Where he went to Brooklyn right after.
Yeah.
Then you were at Brooklyn. You worked everything. You got your boy. You got Kyrie to go there, who wanted to go to the Knicks, but you convinced him or whatever to go there. Yeah. Then you got Harden in there. You got the exact pieces you want. As soon as it didn't go your way, you want to get up out of there. Then you go to Phoenix. You worked it again. You got them. To
we at somebody? Are we at 2 million?
Did they try for 2 years?
That didn't work. Now you want to get out of there and go somewhere else.
Are we at 2
So there were a
million?
lot of
How many times you gonna do this?
There were a lot of circumstances in Brooklyn, like
Yeah,
Kyrie.
you don't
As
read
we
those.
said, there's different circumstances every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
And-
mean, with your boy come and he's not playing, which we respect because of the COVID and the shot thing. And
Yeah.
Was there did these same circumstances exist while Giannis was in the league? Because he stayed with his team and got his ring.
But
He
did he
didn't
have his
go
best
jump
player
team
not
to
play
team.
half the season because they want to get the COVID shot? Like,
Nope.
I mean, but
Nope.
there's one team. Well, what about the other teams?
Well, I
That's
mean,
the
that-
That's what
champion.
I'm saying. We're going to keep making excuses.
I'm making
At the end of
excuses.
the day, he every time he gets a little uncomfortable, he jumps ship.
Just let me
That's
flip it
weak
on you.
to me. That's
Just let me
weak to
flip it
me.
on you with one of your favorite players, AI. If he had left the Sixers to join the Lakers with Kobe and Shaq,
That would have been weak. It don't matter to me who does it.
No, I don't think
Weak
that's
is
how you
weak.
get them. I think the fact that I'm not mad that you think it's weak. I just think that you have too many
AI would have never did
you
it.
have too many inconsistencies in why you think it's weak.
I've
you
had
just
the same reason.
No, you just literally said he did it too many times. I said how many is too many? I don't know.
Yeah, because it's not. I said I don't have a set number. I didn't say I
That's
don't
called
know.
I don't know.
No, I don't have a set
What's
number.
the
I
number?
said if you. That's why this is recorded. I said I don't have a set number. It's
Because
based on the circumstances.
Because I think it's bull.
I said-
I think that you make it up.
Talking me is not gonna make you right.
No.
I said
your
it's not,
feeling.
I said it's based on. It's not based on a set number. It's based on circumstances. That's why
you
I
did
didn't know
not.
the
He
number.
brought up circumstances. Stop it.
This is recorded, people. Just
is
roll
crazy.
back so you
Yeah.
can see how
Yeah.
I'm right again.
Well,
I said circumstances.
Hold on. How can somebody say this is too much? And I say, so how much is too much? I don't know.
Because it's based on circumstances.
You gotta know.
It's not.
It's
because I said
bullshit.
it's
I think
based
it's-
on
I think it's- I
circumstances.
just think it's a
One
BS.
person can leave 3 times and it's not the same circumstance. So I'm like, all right. I'm not mad at him for leaving 3 times. Somebody could leave once, and the way he did it, I might be like, you shouldn't have did that.
Yeah.
It's not based on a specific number.
Yeah.
It's based on the circumstances, which is what I said.
Well, then don't say too many times.
It is too many times based on the circumstances.
No.
Am I not saying the same thing?
I mean,
over
if
and
you
over?
told somebody, hey, how many times can they cheat on you? You said it depends on the circumstance. Like you got to get.
No, that's a perfect example. That's a perfect
That'll do it for
example.
that one.
Depends on what. It depends on that situation.
Oh,
Some
God,
people-
this dude.
Oh, that's crazy. It
Depends on this
It does.
situation.
It depends on
Boy,
if you knew the person.
it's okay,
or not
Blaze.
There are factors to
It's
that.
okay to go out in the blaze,
All right,
Blaze.
I'm gonna give you an example to that. Let's say you with a chick and you cheat on her. You didn't cheat on her 20 times, and she knows you did it.
Yeah.
And now she cheated on you once. How you look at that situation may be a little different because you're like, man, I've been dogging her out. She's been catching me so many times. Now versus you've always been faithful with her, always been solid, and then she go cheat on you. You gonna look at her differently knowing that you always been solid with her versus you have always been dogging her out. That circumstance makes a big difference in how you react to that.
Yeah, that's on how you react. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Based upon what you've done.
Right.
But I'm talking about based upon what she's done. What's your standard? Do you
Right.
have a standard or
No, I'm
just
saying,
kinda,
but based on she may have done that because you cheated on her 20 times and got caught. And she's like, I'm fed up. I'm
Okay.
hurt.
Yeah.
So I did this. But it's because of what you did
Peep
all
game.
these times.
Peep game.
Which
But-
is a circumstance.
Watch this though. Did
Is that
she-
not a circumstance?
That's a circumstance.
That
What-
plays into it.
But here's the thing.
Get 'em.
What was her number?
Well, I'm just
Oh,
saying,
20. It depends.
Yeah.
What made the
Now, if
20th
she cheated
time
on you 20
make
times,
her find
hey,
a good-looking dude?
Wait,
That's
watch
all
this.
I
Watch
asked.
this. Watch this. You
That's
just
all
proved
I
my
asked.
You should have
point.
told me it was 19.
You just proved my point. Because if she cheated on you 20 times versus the one, that's a different circumstance.
You should have told me it was 19.
No, it's
But
a
that's a
different
different
quantity. That's a
circumstance.
different quantity,
Yeah, same
too.
circumstance.
That's a different
I am
circumstance.
lost. I need a basketball
That's a
and
different
Kevin Durant.
circumstance. You cheat on 20 times versus one time.
We are
That's a different
all
conversation.
finally, we're all finally defining who we are in great ways. I love you, Blaze.
Speak facts.
You can call him whatever you want. Enjoy him. If I'm Kevin Durant, do what the fuck I want to do, and I just wish there wasn't those kind of narratives of
do you think,
resistance.
KD?
And Kevin
Yeah.
Durant
Do
didn't
whatever,
ask to
brother.
be. He didn't ask for a trade out of Phoenix.
Yeah, we can go back there
We
too.
gotta stop this.
Yeah, we
gotta
can go
stop
back
with
there.
the
I think
excuses. We gotta stop.
I was
with
gonna put
these
it on wax. I
excuses.
think they're contenders next year for sure.
I think they are too.
You said that when he went to Phoenix
Houston.
too, right? You said
No,
that
no,
when-
I never said that.
But what does
No.
that
You
matter?
said that when we went to Brooklyn.
Were you fatigued of believing in them?
Yeah, before they got hurt.
No,
Before the
I
circumstances.
just believe in reality.
You
I thought they had a good shot in
They
Brooklyn.
define reality.
And
Reality is he's not carrying
a
the team
toenail
to
away
win.
from going to the finals that year.
Reality is subjective.
That
Yeah,
they
I'm
had
about
a
to say,
good
what do you
season.
mean?
The
He
reality
doesn't need
is-
to carry that team.
Yeah, I had to carry the team.
He doesn't need to carry
Who's
that.
carrying them? Fred VanVleet?
It's how did the Pacers get
Who's
to the
carrying
championship? How did the
Houston?
Pacers get to the championship? They didn't have one person carrying the whole team.
Halliburton.
No, there were 5, 6
Halliburton is their
dudes scoring
team.
double
He
digits.
is their
a
leader.
game.
You can say whatever you want. He is the leader of that
He's
team.
a leader, but he
carries
doesn't
them.
need to
Don't
carry
need
the
to carry.
team.
Yeah.
What just happened? What just happened?
What you saying?
They lost
got
one
hurt.
game. They lost one game without
They
him.
lost
They
one
lost-
of their best
He
players.
also had
that's
a
not
stinker
Steph
with
there.
0 points in
And the
one game.
games that he won, the games they won were why? Because he performed. He
can't
showed
say
up.
that,
No, you can't say that.
Tell him we can't
Of
say
course I
that.
can say this.
Of
Facts that
course.
back it up.
How many?
This
Carr-
facts. The game. We can watch it.
Siakam
Carr
won
got
one of
4
those games.
tires.
That wasn't
Carr
Halliburton.
got 4 tires. One pop, it ain't moving. That tire ain't no more important than the others. Oh, that's
Damn, that'll do it for episode 38 on the
That's
road.
a different analogy.
Blaze is gonna figure
'cause
this
it's a-
one out.
no, it's a different
Love for you
analogy.
guys. I gotta go pick up my kids.
I want to respond because it wasn't. It's a different analogy.
39, episode 39.